and then there's a little bit of turbulence on the airplane, and I'm like, I don't want to die. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, I was joking.
I'm just joking.
That's the thing I was saying to Heath last week is adulthood is just rapidly going between freaking out that you're dying and then wishing you were dead.
Yeah. Yes. The oscillation between both of those things is like it's so distinct.
I was telling Donnie the thing about being a dad and a husband is wanting to feel needed and useful.
Yeah.
Like when your wife says, it's fine, I've got it, you feel like shit.
All right.
But then
Luckily, my wife never says that.
Go to like a town in Texas I've never been to where no one knows me because I need to not know anyone or be needed for like 8 hours. So I want to feel needed and wanted just only a certain amount.
Right.
Right.
And then stop.
Hey, you can.
Yeah. I like opening the pickles.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You could need and crave both of those things to like deeply be needed and also to be like,
leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's
hard to tell people it's not you that I don't want to talk to. It's everyone.
Yeah.
Because people who care about you take it personal when you want to go goth.
Right.
And it's like, I don't hate you. I hate the world.
Yeah.
You're just happen to be in the world.
Yeah.
And you're in my fucking face.
You should hate it with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to admit, the whole day I spent by myself not doing anything, just like doing random shit, just being away from everyone. And then Jacob at 3 o'clock, the Dodgers were playing, and he's like, and he got back from practice and wanted to watch Dodgers.
Yeah, I was watching that today.
Not good. Wasn't good for the Dodgers.
Wasn't good for the Dodgers, but I kind of want the Mets to win too. Like,
here's the thing, I do not want the Mets to win, but if the Mets win, I want them to go all the way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I want the Mets. Like, I wouldn't be devastated if the Mets beat the Dodgers. I'd be devastated if the Giants beat the Dodgers, or if if the Yankees beat the Dodgers. I will also be.
Well, so on the one hand, like I do kind of want the classic Yankees versus Dodgers. Clash of the Titans,
Absolutely.
Ohtani versus Judge, and then of course they have Soto, and then who else do the Dodgers have?
Teoscar Hernandez
or Kike Hernandez.
Yeah,
that Diaz guy's really good.
Yeah.
Like, so they have some really good players.
Dude, fucking Freddie Freeman.
Yeah,
all of them. Yeah.
But on the other hand, I would love to see the Mets in a World Series,
in a Subway Series against
Subway Series against the Yankees, or the Cleveland, I refuse to call them the Guardians, who has the longest streak since ever winning.
Right.
Like, they're the ones who I've been rooting for now that all the teams ahead of them have won a World Series or gone to a World Series or whatever.
Yeah.
And especially once the Cubs beat them,
The only thing that I wouldn't want at this point is for the Yankees to win. That's the only thing I don't want to happen is the Yankees to win the World Series. Like, if Cleveland wins, if the Dodgers win, if the Mets win, I'm actually good with any of those outcomes. I want the Dodgers to win the most.
Yeah.
But if it's any of those other teams but the Yankees, I'm going to be
You know how that shakes out for me?
How's that?
Shakes out to me rooting for the Yankees against the Dodgers. You know why?
What is that?
I have formulas that I apply to baseball.
Yeah.
The Yankees have not been to the World Series since 2009.
Oh, 9. Okay, yeah.
The Dodgers have been like 3 times and won once, right?
No, they've been twice. 2017 and 2020.
Right.
Which was
2020 they won, but it was against the Rays in that weird shortened season,
shortened season, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just technically, I tend to root for the teams, the underdogs, and the teams that have had. And unfortunately, in this case, between the Dodgers and the Yankees, it feels like the Yankees are the underdogs, just going off the last several years of history.
Won way more,
like historically. But like if you like narrow down to like the 2000s or like the 2010s, all the way up into the last 15 years.
If you narrow it down to the 2000s, the Yankees have won more,
right,
and been more.
Right.
If you narrow it down to the 2010s, then the Dodgers have been more. But the Dodgers still have only been twice, 2017 and 2020.
Right.
They've gone to the DS. They've gone to the playoffs for the last 15 years. Though.
Yeah, they're there every year.
Yeah,
they're the powerhouse of the West.
They're the fucking powerhouse of the season, and then in the postseason,
they're always the best record.
Yeah,
it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
the best pitcher the Dodgers ever had was Johnny Felicio. You remember him? You remember Tommy? You remember Tommy Cunnilingus?
Everybody thought it was Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. It was when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers.
You remember Jimmy in Flagrante?
Have I ever shown you I don't know if I actually have a picture of it on my phone, but have I showed you those pictures of the baseball signed by the 51 Brooklyn Dodgers in my family? There's like 10 of them.
Really?
By Jackie Robinson
my
and
God.
Pee Wee Reese so my grandpa lived in the same hotel that the Brooklyn Dodgers stayed in when they played in Brooklyn.
yeah.
And he was friends with all those guys. And so he just got tons of baseball signed by him. My dad has 2 of them. My uncle has 2 or 3. My aunt has a couple. So yeah, we have a bunch of those. Bunch of balls.
Nice.
Bunch of balls.
I guess I'll check the stream out, make sure it's working. So you guys know what day it is, right?
It's Columbus Day.
Right.
Greatest
Indigenous Inwards Day.
goddamn Italian.
It's this right here.
And make them do whatever we want. That doesn't sound like a slave trader to you?
George Washington had slaves, the father of our country.
Well, what's your point?
His history teacher, Mr. Cushman, is teaching your son that if Columbus was alive today, he would go on trial for crimes against humanity like Milosevic in, Europe.
Slobodan.
Your teacher said that.
It's not just my teacher.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
the truth. It's in my history book.
Jesus Christ, baby.
So you finally read a book and it's bullshit.
He's reading A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn.
Look,
by
you have to
Howard
look in
Zinn,
Columbus's
yeah.
shoes to see what he went through.
People.
People thought the world was flat, for crying out loud. Then he lands on an island with a bunch of naked savages on it. I mean, that took a lot of guts. You remember when we went to Florida, the heat and those bugs?
Well, like it took guts to murder people and put them in chains.
He was a victim of his time.
Who cares? It's what he did.
He discovered America is what he did.
Shut the fuck
He
up.
was a brave Italian explorer. And in this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. End of story.
So that's the name of the stream. Is Christopher in this house? Christopher Columbus is a hero. Yeah.
Oh man, fucking Sopranos.
Oh shit! Somebody's coming up with a. That's the countdown to a live stream on YouTube. So.
Oh man, well I'm glad you're here, Donnie. I
Yeah.
feel like every
I'm not
time
gonna
I'm with
die.
you that
Yeah.
we're on borrowed time.
Yeah, the only thing that I would die of is if I would die of the vapors.
The vapors.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, it's too much. I just
Fainting.
can't
You would
stand
faint to death.
I would faint to death. Yeah.
Danny, Donnie, I vow this.
Yeah.
If you die in the next year, I'm gonna get your face tattooed on my thigh, and it's gonna say something like,
It's purple haze all around.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'm
"No,
going
there's a
up or down.
there's a fucking Hendrix song called Angel Man."
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's just gonna say, Donnie
My sweet angel boy.
Angel below it, and it's gonna be your face
Right.
exactly as it is right now.
Some angels never die.
No, what you need
in
is
your heart.
over my head. One of those like kind of mural type messages that need to be like, the lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it needs to have. That's
You
the
know,
message. it
is
needs
that
to
is that what you want?
yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of any better
But
lyric
like
to
in
put on.
Latin.
Yeah.
Lap danzo.
I'm sure
vetero.
there is a
Seen
word
stripper
for
of-
lap dance.
Yeah, what is the word for
Latin.
lap dance
Yeah.
in Latin? You
It's
know they
Tuesday.
had them.
They got him and they dumped him out.
There's like many different words for lap dance. It's like there's a word for when it's like a young boy. There's a word for when it's a young girl. There's a word for when it's like a more appropriate.
The word for when it's a young boy is just lap dance. That's the basic.
Oh man, yeah.
You know who died? Al Pacino died
Al Pacino didn't die.
when he had COVID. He said I was gone. They interviewed him about when he had COVID, and he said he died. But
I think he was doing the interview, so he was still alive. Right?
yeah, I think your doctor should be the one that says whether you died or not.
Right.
Not
right,
you.
Yeah.
It's really sounds cool for him to go, I was gone. Hey-yo.
Ew.
So we watched
Let me tell
Beetlejuice.
you, there's
Fucking
nothing.
thing.
There's nothing. I can't do it in Al Pacino. There's nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing there.
That was better.
Yeah, that was better.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Trump isn't dead.
Hooah.
Well, I don't know what to do in this.
I
'cause
feel like
can't play
anytime
live.
I do an impersonation, I need to say a thing that they said that's like very very emblematic of them.
She's got a great ass.
Yeah, like that. That was a good.
I've seen him.
That was a pretty good Al Pacino because you said a thing that Al Pacino said.
You said the thing.
And you said the thing.
We watched Beetlejuice 2, and it opens on a glorious shot of Winona Ryder's huge tits.
I've seen it. I liked it.
Good jlomper. She's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah,
now in that show.
Yeah. What did you think of Beetlejuice 2?
I loved it because
thought it was good.
Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
is the chief of the penis police.
God damn it.
That's my new favorite movie
I knew we were coming back to
of
this
all
somehow.
time, Peter.
I knew that somehow we were coming back to it.
Is it out on on? Did you watch it on
It's on Plex.
Plexiplexes on
Yeah.
streams and things?
Yeah.
Is it a good quality? Is
Yes.
it HD?
Huge quality.
Because our
boobs.
friend who gets all the stuff, he tends to get shitty ass cams as soon as they're available, and then you're watching.
He told my
trash.
wife we were the #1 user of his Plex.
Yeah.
There's a guy
He's
that
honored to serve us.
there's a guy that we all know who has Plex, and I've refused to use it just because I'm only principled when it comes to calling him out on whatever I can.
Oh yeah.
So I refuse to do it. I'll pay for shit just across the board.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give him any sort of justification.
No, our Plex guy asked me if I wanted all the adult content. And I was like, I don't want to know what you're into.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to have access to your porn hard drive. Because then we might be into the same thing, and that's kind of gay.
And that's
We're going to
and that's how Josh became a faggot.
Yeah.
we're kind of holding hands in the stars,
Yeah.
like the Fievel, American Tail.
Yeah.
Don't
What if,
watching
yeah.
porn
What if
together.
it's just a bunch of pregnancy porn? You're like,
oh yeah.
it's really it's more like Chris.
It's all
Chris is totally gay with Flip.
fat ass blonde white girl
Yeah.
with glasses. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to quit hanging out with my wife, please.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like the availability of free porn. This is what I never understood about people. I mean, I guess I could apply this to downloading porn too, but it's I never understood people paying for porn. There's a fucking shitload of
Yeah.
free porn.
My buddy's dad at church got busted for having boxes of porn. And I was like, why do you own physical porn?
Yeah, just drive that.
So much more.
Just drive it out into the middle of nowhere and dump it.
Yeah.
You don't need to have that stash of porn
Make it-
anymore.
Yeah.
goddamn it.
You just go put it in the woods somewhere. Make some legendary woods porn.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I loved woods porn. When I
Yeah.
was a kid.
Johnny Appleseed.
By the way,
Kids.
dude, my fucking neighbor, every time he sees me now, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" I'm like, dude,
I told you.
we talked about jacking off for a little bit.
I
it's
wonder
not-
why that's stuck in his mind
Yeah.
as the main thing about
Yeah,
you,
I know.
outside of everything else we've ever talked about. on
I know.
here.
We talked about a million fucking things, and this guy just wants to. Every time I see him, he's talking about jacking off.
You're gonna
I'm
catch him in the
okay.
window next time you're checking. Hi. What kind of porn do you like? Do you want access to my Plex?
How much is that ejaculate on the window?
Woof woof.
Oh man, dude! One time my dog got into the trash can in the bathroom and just straight up ate a tissue with ejaculate.
Oh, my dog did that with a condom. He took all my
Oh!
the condoms out of the trash and they
Oh.
got stuck to the rug, and I had to pull them off.
Wait, when's the last time you used a condom?
This was a long time ago.
Okay,
This
I was gonna say,
when I was
yeah.
young and owned material porn
Yeah, right.
and used condoms to jerk off into.
I have. You used condoms to jerk off into?
No, they was using.
I did that a couple times as a kid. Just to
I
see
heard
what
it was good,
like.
though.
See what the
Yeah.
condom craze
Yeah.
is all about. Yeah, man, we haven't. This is a weird admission, but we haven't used any kind of birth control in I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's probably been
You're dancing with the devil.
15 years,
Yeah.
and it's just yeah, whatever. We're not, we figured it out.
If she gets pregnant, you're gonna.
You got the
fucking
rhythm
kill
right?
yourself.
I'm gonna kill myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the rhythm.
You got the rhythm right.
You're
right?
gonna ride the other side of that line
Yeah.
between wanting to die and wanting to live.
No,
gonna find the other end of
I know exactly which side of that line I'm gonna be on.
I found it.
Honey.
I used to spend my time 50% on one side, 50% on the other, but now it's 100-0.
We were talking about shitty Star Wars shows and how much money they've wasted. I was like, if they took all the money that they wasted on shitty Star Wars shows and movies, they could have given me that money.
Yeah.
And I could have it. And I probably would buy some Chewbacca figures.
Yeah,
And they
you
could get some of it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have had a good investment.
And
just
I said-
giving it to me.
I said a fraction of a percent of what they spent on this last shitty Star Wars show would solve my entire life.
Yeah.
Every problem in my life would be solved by 0.03.
That actually justifies
Of
you
what they
hating
spent, yeah.
lesbians. That makes it okay for you to hate the dumb
Yeah.
lesbian lady.
Yeah.
'Cause your life could be fixed if not for her.
Yeah.
She ruined your life.
Yeah.
I'm going to frame it another way that makes it feel even worse. a fraction of what they paid Snoop Dogg for the T-Mobile ads.
Yeah. There's so much money out there, and none of it is making its way to me.
How did we create a money funnel?
Yeah, right.
I used to say that when I waited tables because girls got tipped way more, and I was like,
Yeah.
if I can get 10% of the tips that girls got just for having boobs,
Wow.
I'm doing the same work as them.
I mean, I have boobs. Why am I not getting
Yeah.
tips
I
like
have
that?
boobs.
Did you guys I don't know if what kind of jobs you had when you were like 16, 17, 18,
Let's talk about that.
but did you I found out that I and everybody I knew had a little something going on at every place we worked where we just took shit off the top.
You're skimming.
Yeah. Everybody in every job where you dealt directly with cash.
Yeah.
Was just like, and you know, we thought we were all being slick or whatever, but it's like, no, literally every teenager everywhere has some set. Like, the best ones are like, well, for us, it was like batting tokens. Like, if somebody wants $5 in batting tokens, they give you a $5 bill. You give them $5 in tokens. You pocket the $5 bill. There's no record of the sale,
Right,
whatever.
right.
I had a friend who worked at a golf a golf course, and people go to the driving range and they buy a bucket of balls for like $5.
Yeah.
And then he would just pocket the $5
Right,
and
there's
give
no
them the
good-
bucket. Yeah,
there's
there's
no goods,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
that are-
We used to go in the middle of the night to the golf range near our house in Virginia and just take all of the change out of the Coke machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the kid was the one that had the key. What would you do? Could you skim any off at the water park?
No, because I was a mechanic.
Yeah, there's no way
I
to.
was a mechanic. I
Yeah.
never dealt with cash.
You're actually
ever.
getting paid probably decent money.
I actually was getting paid pretty decent money.
You don't have
Yeah.
to steal anything
Yeah.
when they give
Yeah.
you money.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to pivot off this. I want to come back to it. But I was telling Josh I went and played Top Golf last week. I've never done that before.
I was there on Tuesday. Were you
What
there?
about
When were
bottom
you
golf?
there?
I was in Boston.
Oh, you were at Top Golf in Boston?
Yeah.
We should
Okay.
start a gay
I
golf
was at- I was
range
at ours
called
on
Bottom
Tuesday,
Golf.
How?
There's already Top Golf. What about Bottom
What
Golf?
about bottom golf? Man, that was fucking fun.
Yeah, Top Golf's like, it's like kind of like
Just whack
bowling
balls. It's the best part of golf,
Yeah,
right?
with golf.
Yeah. So you want to hear something sad? I don't know if you experienced this too, but I was sore as shit the next day.
I was thinking I was going to be sore. And what was really only sore was my hands.
Oh yeah.
The grip really did something to me and messed my hands up. I thought that my back was going to be sore from twisting and all that.
If you tried
It was
bottom golf,
okay.
it'd be really
I was
sore.
not too bad. Yeah.
God damn. We had it for 3 hours, and like 3 hours of smacking balls
Yeah.
was like it really did me in. Like
Should try smacking balls for 3 hours at bottom golf. Your hands will really be sore. Something else will be sore too. You'll be sore as fuck.
oh man. Oh, when I was in Boston, one of
You
my
use prep before you get played.
one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I listen to every episode of the podcast. It's fucking great. Like,
Tell your friends, homo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just told him, I'm like, you literally, like, no one at work can know about this. Like, no
Fight
one.
Club.
Like, this is the end of the company if, like, anyone
Yeah.
finds out
This
about
is
it.
why the podcast isn't successful, because it's a huge secret.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
knows,
sorry.
can know
Yeah,
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah, we're
it's
not-
great. I love it.
we're
Don't
not-
tell anyone ever.
Yeah.
We're not 28-year-old comedians who drive Uber for a living. Like,
Right.
That's
We
why I feel
actually have
shitty doing
jobs.
stand up, because there's so many people that's their dream, and I'm like, I'm just fucking around with your
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Of that you
Oh,
might-
that's your dream. Oh,
I
not-
already
that's
can
cool.
eat.
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not hungry because I have
Because
a
I-
job that where I'm actually a successful career.
How many dreaming comedians would give it all up if they had wife, kids, full time job, and could be just normal?
I had this experience when I was in college. I was like out on a smoke break, and one of the kids was like, "What do you do for money?" I was like, "Oh, I work at Blizzard." He's like,
I work at Bottom Golf.
"He's like at Dairy Queen." I'm like, "No, no, like at the
Like the World of Warcraft company.
yeah." And he's like, "What do you do there?"
I'm turning the blizzards upside down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, "Oh, I'm an engineer." He's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "We're doing this to get
Yeah.
that." Like,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
don't like.
we have a new show idea for you to help with.
Oh,
There's a lot of devs, big devs in Austin,
Yeah.
BioWare,
yeah,
etc.
I know about
Joe
them.
Madureira's
Yeah,
company,
all
Full
of it,
Sail.
Yeah.
We want to go to the facility and knock on the door and be like, "Hey, cut it out. Stop being
Stop
dumb."
it. Stop it.
Stop making bad things.
Yeah.
But if we had an actual veteran dev with us,
Oh yeah.
we'd be like, "This is
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
He's from Blizzard.
Yeah, he's been there. Yeah.
He knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
He understands what you're doing.
Right.
He also wants you to stop it."
Yeah. don't do whatever faggoty shit you're doing.
Stop being gay.
Do some other shit like we used to do. Start with the Cosby Room.
Look at the numbers. Look at the fucking
Yeah.
Velma show just got canceled on the WB or whatever. Max. It was Mindy Kaling's Scooby-Doo Velma show.
Look at the money numbers.
That was the most DEI thing ever. They only made that show so the Iranian girl could like have a show. They
So
made a Scooby-Doo skin
Wait,
spin-off.
she's not Iranian, is she?
Mindy
She's
Kaling?
She's Indian, right?
I don't care. Whatever. Cinnamon people.
Last week we
Can I be mean to the terrorists? They fucked up everything. Sorry.
Oh,
except she's Indian and they're not terrorists.
They did 9/11. That's the Saudis.
also, Josh defended a Nazi on Reddit the other day.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
She's hot as fuck, though. She looks good. That's
So did the chick in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
and the
Yeah.
other
She was still a
boys.
Nazi.
So did Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
You
I
look
don't
good,
know if
too.
she's really a Nazi. People throw that word around. You know how many downvotes I got for defending her? I don't even know her. I've never seen her. I've never seen any of it. Somebody just put a Nazi's performing at Roscoe's. Everybody should not go to Roscoe's. And I like Roscoe's. So I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah, knock
I'm
it
going to
off.
bring Chris.
Yeah.
And he's going to, and Donnie, we're going to come tell you to
We're gonna tell you to knock it off.
put a lid on it.
Let the Nazi talk.
Yeah.
Let the Nazi talk.
I don't know if she's a Nazi or not. She's just one of these
You don't know if
comedians that
all you
has
had to do was click the link to her tweets.
her saying Jews are dumb. What
Yeah,
did she
of her
say?
like saying like all the most like conspiratard Twitter anti-Semitic Jews control the world shit. But again, that's also not Nazi. That's just anti-Semitic. But still,
it's looking at Jews and saying how they are.
yeah, it's
You're not allowed to look at people and say a thing they do. The stereotypes exist for a reason.
Yeah.
The fucking bonbons with the bathrobe and the lady at home in bed all day. I didn't make that up.
Right.
That's old as fuck.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield existed a long time ago.
You're
People have been
simply-
bitching about their wives forever.
It's
Right.
like whenever
This is not new.
It's like
No,
in Goodfellas whenever he comes home all late and his wife's Lorraine Bracco's mom is like, "Look at what you're doing to my husband. He hasn't been able to digest a good meal in 2 weeks."
Yeah, man. I mean, we're just simply observers of the same shit that's being observed.
You're not
all over
allowed
the
to
place.
say things that happen anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean,
The whole world has turned
Jo-
into women.
Josh is enough Jew, enough percent Jew.
Yeah,
But you're not though, right?
I am. No,
You are.
Yeah.
You're,
I
so,
could have gone to Birthright. From
Yeah.
18 to 26, I could have got a free airplane ride
Yeah.
to Israel.
So it's not my mom; it's my dad, though. So
Oh, okay.
technically,
So your mother's
yeah.
vagina's not Jewish.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah,
fucked it
yeah,
all up
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I am not at all Jewish. I am not a single piece Jewish.
What's that like?
So I'm the one who cannot have those
I'm a
opinions.
Texas man.
I'm a Texas man.
Damn it.
I'm like English and Irish and German. I am as Nazi as it gets.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so
So
my,
you get to say who's a Nazi.
my
'cause
dad's
My
dad's-
complexion isn't
from there.
isn't Nazi, but yeah,
You're born into the
No,
darkness.
you have a little olivey about you.
yeah, but that's not Nazi. That's
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah,
Donnie's
I mean,
a
I have
gypsy.
I do have dark hair like Hitler.
Yeah,
Somewhere
it's
back
true,
in
yeah.
Donnie's
Yeah.
lineage, somebody went to the caravan and fucked a gypsy lady.
yeah.
That's why Donnie is greasy. It's just the family secret they won't tell anybody about.
Yeah, I don't understand my darkness.
It sounds like the name of your comedy album. It has to have police tape on it and something over your mouth.
Well,
I don't understand my darkness.
let's talk about your childhood. Let's
Yeah.
Tell
start
me
there.
about your mother.
I think we could probably get into it.
Oh, you would love the new Ali Wong special. She talks about making dudes go down on her period. She's like, day 1, it's fine, but day 4, when it's a watered down salsa mess, you can handle it. It's got protein.
Oh God damn.
Because she's divorced, so she's like dating. So she's just talking about getting dick all the time. It was pretty good. It's a good special. She's funny. I mean, I was getting tired of her being pregnant and crying about being pregnant. Like, finally, something else.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Beef?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
We might have talked about it before. I can't.
No, I don't.
Getting to where I can't remember what we talk about on this
No,
podcast.
yeah,
I'd
me
completely
neither.
forgotten about you working at the water park until Josh mentioned it. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what you did whenever you were young, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did a bunch of shit. I worked
Yeah.
at Subway. You know, I worked at Ross, Dress for Less.
Oh, yeah?
I
Yeah.
was
Like a mouse.
Dude, they put me in the fucking ladies' shoe section like fucking Al Bundy.
Like Al Bundy.
yeah. It was so fucked up, dude. Dude, chicks don't give a fuck. They do not put any shoes back in the right place
no.
at a place like Ross. Like,
Yeah, that's
Chris
a
and the
full-time job.
ladies.
Is just putting the shoes back.
dude,
Right?
they fucking hated the manager there. She thought I was like some spoiled rich kid because I went to the Catholic school down the street, and she was black, and she fucking hated me, and she was gonna like make me pay
Yeah.
for whatever, for being a spoiled white kid. It's like, no, bitch, I'm working at Ross.
Yeah.
Like,
black
I am
woman,
working
bitch.
here too.
Yeah.
You're my boss. Like, this is not like,
Yeah.
I'm not working here because I'm a spoiled rich kid. I'm working here because, like, I have to fucking work in high school.
Yeah.
Daddy won't buy me a race car.
Daddy won't buy me.
I sleep in a race car bed.
Aside from not learning piano and getting really good at piano when I was a kid,
No.
my only other regret in life is not doing bad things to people who deserve it, especially at some of the jobs I've had.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I-
do you have a good example of it?
well, like there was always so many bitchy
You
women.
can come over and play the piano whenever you want, buddy.
Yeah, that's next thing. One of the next things on my streaming
Come
list
and
is
serenade us.
to start playing piano and streaming me being like retarded and then getting better.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Um,
Buy that keyboard off of Clay. He's not using
yeah,
it.
I know. But no, there was always just a bitchy woman who had a modicum of power over me that I just let get away with it whenever I could have destroyed her entire psyche.
Yeah.
Especially the fat,
Change
ugly
your
ones.
tampon.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have been okay. Change your tampon. You know, something like that. Like I could have just destroyed everything about them. And
The
there
bridge burner.
many people. It's like, yeah, my number one regret in life was not hurting more people who deserved it.
That's a good
Don't
goals.
you
It's
remind,
good to have goals.
You remind me of my dad right now. Like last summer when I was visiting my dad, he's like,
I could have fucking told that.
I
bitch,
only
shut
have
the
one
fuck up.
regret in life. I'm like, what's that? It's like, I didn't sue more people.
Yeah.
I didn't sue more people. I'm like, what are you talking?
You're talking
about?
to your son who you could have spent more time with.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, dude, you spent my whole high school,
Son, I only have one regret in
Every
life,
year,
and it's
for-
not playing
all-
more catch with you.
all 4 years of high school. You basically lived in fucking Indonesia.
Yeah.
When I told you that my son wrestles, you know what he said to me? He's like, wrestling, huh? He's like, Aaron wrestled. I'm like, yeah, Dad, you know that I wrestled, right? He's like, no, you didn't.
What?
I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm like, you never came to a match. He's like, you never wrestled in high school. And his one regret is not suing more people. That's his one huge regret. Not, I didn't go to my son's, any
Yeah.
of my son's wrestling matches.
You have to become an evil villain superhero so you can be called "My Dad Didn't Know I Wrestled Man."
Yeah.
So everybody knows on the news that that's why you blew up 9/11 or whatever.
You know what the thing is, though, is that I actually think my dad was a great dad. He was a good dad. And
By modern standards, the only thing you have to do to be a good dad is exist and not leave.
but he was better.
Like
he was
most
even
people
better
go,
than
at least your
that,
dad
you
was
know.
there.
Yeah.
That I talked
on
to.
on the scale of dads,
Yeah.
like
Well,
if you're just present,
Yeah.
then that puts you like, I mean, that gives you a D at
These
least.
women
right?
have
Yeah,
to give
yeah.
birth. And
I mean, unless you're present
bleed.
and you rape,
Right.
then you knock
Yeah,
then you
that's
knock
true.
it back down. But
That's
like,
true,
yeah.
You add
Then
rape.
they wish you weren't
yeah.
there.
You
Yeah,
add
right.
rape and that
I wish
kind of.
my dad wasn't there because of
Yeah.
the diddling.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know. I still think he was a good dad. Like he did do a ton of shit with me.
Hey,
but
you're not on heroin. You're not a Joe. Is a good dad.
during those high school
You
years.
know?
Like, he didn't give a fuck. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my job here's done. I'm gonna go live in Indonesia now for a few years."
Yeah.
What did you do there?
I was working. I mean, he just worked a ton.
I want to go do some work in Indonesia.
Like I do
with Mindy Kaling.
I do a fuck ton of work too, but then I also go to my son's wrestling.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's spending time with your son. You're not going to have a regret the rest of your life.
That's true. I haven't sued many people though, so maybe I will look back on this. Maybe I'll look back in anger, as they say.
I wish,
Yeah.
I wish I had sued more people for not going to my son's wrestling with me.
Yeah. I was earlier. I was thinking. I started thinking about the rape jungle, And I started thinking about like the idea of the scene of the Indian police officer to the woman who's in the, she's all distraught, clothes are ripped,
Right.
she's crying,
Right.
she's in his office,
Yeah.
and he's just going, "Why did you go into the rape jungle?
Why
Why would you ever go
Why
into
did
the
you
rape
do it?
jungle
You
unless you
just
wanted to be raped?
stupid
You know
idiot.
what happens in the rape jungle." And then I started thinking about the idea that like, what if that guy's the hero of the story?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what
If
if
only women had listened to him.
yeah, right.
Right.
And then it was like, what if I started working on a script for a series about the racist Avengers, where it's like you take the worst, most racist stereotype people
Yeah.
and you put them into a superhero team, and one of them is the Indian police officer blaming the rape victim for her own rape because she went into the rape jungle.
Yeah.
And then we just start thinking about like we come up with other like racist superheroes, like racial stereotype superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black.
They all
Phantom.
have to team up against who would the race stereotype Avengers have to team up against, like
Judgment.
yeah,
Judgment guy.
it's like the
Don't
it's
judge
like
me, guy.
yeah, it's like the like also there's so many other races where they could be like teaming up against like deodorant.
Oh man, I sat next to this Indian dude on the plane the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, you're getting on a plane.
Yeah,
Just adopt Western standards.
Yeah.
For the next 4 hours,
Yeah.
so that everyone around you doesn't have to be disgusted.
well, it's like the Indian stereotype superhero's arch
Cut it
nemesis is the Persian supervillain because the Persians wear so much cologne, you know,
Right.
like they're
Right.
constantly
It's
dousing
the-
themselves in cologne.
They're
Right.
blind.
So it's like Flash and Negative Flash, like they cancel each other out, you know?
Those are the people that blind Daredevil
like-
because he has heightened sense of smell and he can't see, so it makes a big cloud.
Right.
He can't fight
Right.
crime
Just
around
like
India.
neutral smell, like no smell.
Yeah.
Because those things don't cancel each other out. You sit a guy next to me on one side with terrible BO and a guy on the other side
With, like,
who's been
Persian-
doused,
yeah.
Persian doused in
Persian cologne, yeah.
Persian cologne, man. Like
Yeah.
that's not like, oh, these two things cancel each other out. It's like, no, this is
They
my
combine, they
worst
magnify,
fucking
yeah,
nightmare.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
not good.
Right.
Or like, I don't know if you ever experienced this, like with Frenchies, or I mean, actually, maybe Persians too,
Frenchies.
but where like they don't wear deodorant, but they'll like put cologne on.
So you have the undercurrent of the BO underneath the
Yeah,
cloying
it's like when
scent,
women wear
yeah.
perfume, but their pussy smells like a nasty Tokyo by the harbor. Like, I know what you're doing. Everybody in here, everyone in this small room can tell what is going
smells
on.
like one night in Bangkok
You
in
fucking
here.
pussy. Fucking disgusting. Piece of shit.
Oh man.
So I'm really looking forward to Death Stranding. Did you guys? Nobody played that but me. I'm the only one.
I had it on Game Pass and I installed it and I never played it and then it left Game Pass. So now I would have to buy it.
But the next one apparently has musical numbers in it and like a dancing puppet because Hideo Kojima is such a homo about stuff. He
He's
always has, like-
he's just crazy and weird about things.
He's very cute. He's very like Hello Kitty cute sometimes.
yeah, sometimes, yeah. Did
But-
you ever play the Metal Gear Solid game, the Metal Gear games? That's what he is.
Hopefully they don't. Death Stranding 2 doesn't end up like Joker 2 where it's like a whole musical.
Yeah, where it's like an absolute piece of shit that everybody hates.
Apparently he made it like that because there were too many comparisons to Taxi Driver. And people were mad that he was doing an homage to Taxi Driver because Taxi Driver resulted in the
In Joker, they
yeah.
said that was
Well, it was basically just it was Taxi Driver and it was King of Comedy.
But because of Taxi
Yeah.
Driver, apparently people were more able to do insanity plea because of that guy that shot Reagan to get with Jodie
Yeah.
Foster because of
yeah.
that movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and he got the insanity plea. So Taxi Driver resulted in the insanity plea, and then there was a lot of insanity plea stuff in the Joker 2. The whole court case was about him pleading insanity. So it was the Todd Phillips, who's a good comedy writer, wrote a shitty movie because he was throwing a fit. Basically, he was mad at people for saying the first movie was about something that it wasn't about. They didn't get the message he was trying to do.
Well, he sure
So now we all
made a
have a
movie
dumb-
that
yeah.
lost Warner Brothers $200 million just now.
I don't remember the joke. I saw the Joker movie. I saw it in the theater. I actually so I was in Cupertino and my buddy's like, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie?" I was like, "Yeah." What movie do you want to see? He's like, Endgame. I was like, well, I haven't seen any of the other
Yeah.
movies, and he's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I went, and I was like utterly lost. I had
Yeah, you had
no
no
idea
idea.
what was going on.
So not only have you not seen the Star Wars, but you've not seen the Marvel movies either?
None of them except
Wow.
for Endgame. I've seen Endgame.
So you haven't seen any of the other ones except for
No,
Endgame?
I've seen Endgame. I had no fucking idea what was happening the whole time.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we got out of the
It's
movie. I'm
another
like,
racist Avengers. End gay. End gays.
I was like, Frank,
There are a bunch of Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia's.
End gay.
I was like, I was lost the whole time. He's like, oh yeah, sorry about that. I was like,
Jesus.
no, I spent like 2.5 hours in a fucking movie. Like, I literally didn't know what was happening through the whole fucking thing. So then the next time I was in town, we went and saw Joker.
Might seem crazy that I'm fucking gay. We're doing musical numbers now because that's what's popular.
That was you just tried to be Donnie right there.
This is how I get my kids to get out of the way when I'm going to the bathroom. Move upside and let the dad go poo. Let the dad go poo. Move upside and let the man go poo.
I don't know that song. What is
Soul
that song?
Coffee. You don't like Soul Coffee?
Oh yeah.
So
Pharrell's
another
making a Lego movie.
another thing that you just completely missed because you never even saw that first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. in the theaters.
No.
Wow, or at all?
No,
Wow.
no. I haven't seen anything good. You know what I just watched with Kristen? We watched a movie with or that show with Kristen Bell. And
The
she's
Good
with
Place?
Good Place.
No, she's with the rabbi. This is a new show that everyone's got their fucking dick in a knot over.
Is one dick in a nut?
No, the oh god, what is it called? But like that's the kind of shit that I watch. Like it's just
The lady stuff?
the look on
I was just burping.
the look on your face is very alarming.
It's resting son of a bitch face.
I just I just don't watch things. It's not good.
Pharrell is making a Lego movie. That's why I played that happy, crappy song. Crappy.
Have you finished the book yet? Running
No,
the Light?
I've barely started it.
Oh man.
I've listened to a bunch of people talking about the book. And I didn't bring the fucking Beastie Boys book because I didn't go home.
It's okay. I feel like it's a book that you would really get into. I feel like you would really like it.
I am. I'm waiting for the perfect moment. I'm going to eat shrooms and stay at Donnie's house all day on a work
You're
day.
not going to read that book when you're on shrooms.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No, I'm going to divide the day into sections. I'm going to read the book for a while. Some Wednesday when I'm supposed to be at work, I'm going to come here while he's in the office and take naps and do nothing.
Oh, that's nice.
Instead of going to temple and being afraid. So I guess I can go anywhere and do shrooms, but then I'll be somewhere weird on shrooms, and I don't think I want to do that.
No. Yeah. No, probably not. Yeah.
Did you hear about the new Henry Cavill, our heartthrob baby boy movie he's doing? Voltron.
Oh, that's what are next?
Yeah, Henry
So
Cavill Voltron,
it's just the red letter media meme. What are next?
defender of my universe.
Donnie, do you think I'm missing out on things in the world? I feel like we've
Yeah, you should watch Jack Reacher.
I don't
feel
know.
like
You
we-
seem like you've had a life. Like
I feel like we've danced around this a lot, like where it's like, oh, like you don't know about Star Wars, you don't know about anything on the internet, you don't know about.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the other
About the
end of the
Marvel-
spectrum.
Yeah.
I watch everything. He has discerning tastes, and you've watched nothing.
We need
So we get
it
everybody's
takes-
perspective.
It takes a
Yeah,
it
we're
takes a
diverse
village
here.
of diversity.
Right.
Diverse
Yeah.
white guys from
Yeah.
different places on Earth.
I don't know. Maybe I am missing something, really missing something. But
Yeah.
I don't personally feel like I am. But
Yeah.
then every now and again I hang out with folks and they're talking about stuff and I don't know what's going on and I'm like, oh man, maybe.
So, what do you? I mean, you follow sports. I mean, you follow like
A little bit.
California,
A little bit.
like
Yeah.
teams, right? You know.
The Dodgers, yeah. Yeah, I watch baseball during the season a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like that. So much of that is just like that's what I've always done. I've always followed movies, TV, games, like entertainment
Yeah.
stuff. I've always been plugged into that. You know.
Yeah.
Did you watch Jack Reacher?
No.
Do you want to watch Jack Reach around? He goes to bottom
That,
golf.
that sounds better than Jack.
That's a
Reacher.
move. That's a move that you can do at bottom golf.
The Jack
The
Reach
Jack
around.
reach around. Yeah.
Can you hit the ball straight?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But I slice it really bad a lot because I'm left-handed, so I have to
Can
go
you guys
that
do the
way
Happy
again.
Gilmore? Can you do the run up
No, I tried
with
that
the
actually.
Timbos on?
That's,
Yeah,
that's
the
actually
That's kind of dangerous to do it at Top
Topgolf,
Golf because
yeah,
if
you
you
would-
overshoot, I mean, you're going off.
dude. Some chick next to us like hit the ball into our bay.
Really?
She hit the ball so terribly that she hit the wall
Yeah.
like next to our bay.
Oh,
We
nice.
should take our Japanese friend to Top Golf. Jackie should be like, I don't know, I'm not good at driving.
Yeah. You know, it comes from Japan. I think Top Golf comes from Japan.
I mean, that
Top knot,
yeah.
Top Golf,
Top Garf. It's
Top
called
knot,
Golf.
Top Golf.
Top Garf.
So we got a new APD budget for a new building. They're going to get rid of that old ass building, the police building downtown, because they need breastfeeding rooms. The police station doesn't have breastfeeding rooms. You know how awesome people get pulled over by like one of those motorcycle cops in a tan shirt, and she's got huge tits, and they're like leaking.
Oh man.
She's like, "Get out of
It
the
looks
car!" And you're
like
like, "Ma'am,
haven't been to the breast
you don't have
feeding
the
room today.
facilities."
You don't have the facilities for that, you poor bitch.
It must be an old cinder block downtown building that hasn't been updated. You know who I use the breastfeeding room in my work to take naps.
I did too. I got in trouble for it.
Yeah, we've talked about that,
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not allowed- It's only for breastfeeding women only.
Yeah.
we? Well,
I was
Must
like,
they take
I'm
everything
sorry,
from
there's
us?
no fucking women who work here.
aren't you in like a very kind of woke environment where if you identify,
Yeah.
I've got nipples, Craig, could you
Yeah.
milk me?
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hang out next to the women's room, and as soon as a hot girl goes in there, I'm just gonna say I'm trans and put on some lipstick and be like, "Hey, are my tits weird? Let me feel yours." I'm a lady. You can't say otherwise. Let's compare tits.
Dude, what would the imtitude of
Yeah, the People's Institute
Entitlement.
people's imtitude have to say
for
about
Survival and Beyond. Reading it, I couldn't remember what it was called. Institute for Survival and Beyond.
I've shared that now quite
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah.
People are really into it. They like it. Whenever I show it off, they seem to be into it.
Oh, did you reproduce it without permission?
Yes, I did. I took a
dare you.
picture of it here when it was framed up there, and then I've been showing it to people.
No, he didn't make a physical copy, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a reproduction. It's a visual reproduction. See what they do. See how they do.
See how they do that?
See how they do that.
I was
So
looking
they do
for
that?
a $5 game on PlayStation because I got a $5 coupon,
No.
and I found Leisure Suit Larry,
Oh yeah.
Which one?
the newest one.
There's
There's a new leisure.
I mean,
Suit. Well,
they've been
well,
coming out
newest.
with them like off and on for years and years. I had a Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards.
It's
Oh,
That
yeah.
the original DOS one.
Wet
Oh,
Dreams Die Dry Twice.
Wet dreams dry twice.
It's got nudity.
Oh.
Nice.
Check it out. Maybe
you
I'll
play
buy
it?
it right now.
Man,
Maybe we can do a stream of Leisure Suit Larry.
that'd be great. That'd really be something.
The only reason I didn't buy it is because I have an 11-year-old son, and he already thinks I'm a gross pervert.
He does? Why does he think that?
Because they caught me on how much screen time I spent on Pornhub on the phones.
How do they catch that? You on that?
Because they did a project at school. My daughter had to look.
I
how
don't
much-
like where this is going at all.
I already told you this. It
No.
happened when I was at a wedding in
No.
Florida. They texted me. They were like, "You got caught in 4K for watching 3 hours of porn on Tuesday while we're in school."
What? No, I don't think I've heard.
You can
this.
check the screen time settings on your phone, and we all share the same account because we all share the same Apple Music. Because I'm not fucking paying 4 times for Apple Music, so we're all on the same thing. So my daughter had a project in junior high where you have to check how much screen time you spend on your phone and on what you spend it on. So she pulled it up at school, and it said that she was on Pornhub for 3 hours. She was like, "That's not me."
Oh man.
That was on a Tuesday at 12 noon when my brother were at school, and my father is telecommuting from his room, I thought.
What grade was she in?
Seventh or eighth.
Man.
This is the new Leisure Suit Larry.
My probably one of my biggest fears is that I'm gonna be jerking off and watching porn, and I'm gonna like have an aneurysm and die.
And that's how
And
they
then
find
the-
you.
Die with your dick in
And
your
they're
hand.
gonna find me like that, but I have not been caught in any
Yeah.
way.
Play without, oh, the disc is.
Well, I'm actually kind of interested in this. You watch porn on your phone?
Mhm.
Have we talked about this too?
I don't think so. No.
I mean, I just can't watch porn on my phone.
I have a dedicated tablet.
Oh, you have a tablet?
Yeah.
Dude,
The whore.
Just let me know which tablet that is, so I
No,
know.
it's never a tablet that's in this area of the house.
All right, perfect. All right, good.
It's my bedroom tablet.
Okay.
It's the black. Don't put the black light on this tablet.
Yeah.
Although
okay, yeah.
with my Fold, I mean that's not bad for
Oh,
watching
that's not
porn
bad.
on.
Oh,
You
look at
know,
that.
like
That's
I
a
could
big
do
screen,
it that
yeah.
way, I guess.
Old vintage porn on the square screen.
My porn consumption is very, very like contained, like very
What does that mean?
like very like I have one. I don't even like sit on my computer and jerk off watching porn. My office is not for jerking off. I don't know if I've even jerked off in this office now that I've moved into it.
I'll be right back. I have to
Yeah.
go. I'm going upstairs.
Go christen it a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris,
I'm gonna Chris.
Yeah.
Joey Fellatio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey. Exactly.
Tony
wow,
Cunnilingus.
Well, Donnie, I didn't know you were so discerning.
Yeah, I'm just. It's just very. It's the force of habit.
Yeah,
Like
I watch all the porn.
it's-
He picks special porn, and you barely watch any.
No, that's not true.
Sir?
That's not true. I watch a fair amount of porn.
Okay.
I just never ever watch it on my phone.
I'm just so that's how I'm optimized. I've optimized my consumption of all kinds of things. Like I've gotten to a point where I've optimized like my food. I've optimized my jerkin. I've optimized my intake of entertainment to where I only sample the finest TV shows.
I only
Yeah.
You only sample the finest of
Yeah,
TV
right.
shows. Wow.
I only drink the finest of breast milks. Yeah.
Wow, what a gentleman! I had no idea
Yeah.
I was amongst such a gentleman, such a refined
Yeah.
gentleman.
You might want to share Donnie's Plex catalog of porn. He's only the best stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
But then you guys are gay for
Only-
watching the same middle out
Hey,
compression.
As long as we don't watch it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long
somewhere out there underneath the pale blue sky.
Yeah. As long as Donnie doesn't call me and be like, "Hey,
We'll
I'm
be
putting on
together.
whatever."
What are you doing right now?
I start streaming it on OBS so you
Yeah.
can tune in and you watch the stream.
Ooh, this is great.
New
It's like our
podcast
little
idea.
porn theater.
Yeah.
The porn theater podcast. Where we
Two
sit
new
and watch porn
podcast
together.
ideas. We
Yeah.
got Donnie and Chris watch porn together, and take Chris to BioWare and tell him to cut it out.
Dude, when I was like 19, one time I went over to Woohoo's house and I opened the door because it was like, it was just like my bro's house. I just walk in, and I walk in, and him and the dude in the Southwestern shirt and another buddy, so 3 buddies are sitting on the couch together, pants down, dicks out, watching porn.
Pants down.
And I was like, "Whoa!" And they were like, "Hey, it's fine. We just don't look at each other." And I was like, "I'm out. Like this isn't my
Wait,
jam."
this is a thing that actually happened
Yeah,
at the guy's house.
yeah.
That guy
The guy you know.
was jerking off with 2 other guys
Yes.
watching porn together
Yes.
with their dicks out
That's
and just
very
not
vulture.
looking at each other.
Yeah. And they said it
How
was,
long ago was this? What was this? What
when I
was
was like 19.
That's
Okay.
very vulture
So, like,
activity.
What 6?
It's like not even blankets over it, not even underneath.
No.
Not even having a sleepover
no,
jerk.
No. 3 dudes jerking off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all in the same room. And so
It's not okay.
I left and I came back like half hour later and they were done. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Dude, it's fine. Like, we just all want to watch porno. We all want to jerk off. We just don't look at each other. It's not gay."
no.
I was
You
like,
were
"No.
the porn theater.
No, this is extremely
Yeah.
gay. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like amongst the gayest things."
Yeah, you're not 3 strangers in a theater, right?
Right.
You're
Right.
3 friends.
You're 3 friends who made a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Because in a porn theater, at least you're going there to jerk
yeah,
off.
right.
But here, you might be going there to like smoke a bowl. You might be going there to play a video game. You might be going there to watch a movie. You consciously choose to do all
Yeah.
3 of those things, or all of those different things. In this case, you're consciously making the decision to jerk off together.
Yeah.
That's fucking gay. And they were like, "No, it's not gay. It's not gay."
No true king has to say that he's king, and no real straight dude has to say this is not gay what
Yeah.
we're doing.
I don't want to call to talk about it, but I kind of want to call one of the other guys and be like, "Hey,
Remember that time?
Did I dream this?
No, we talk about it like every now and again when we're all together. I'm like, dude, you guys remember when you guys used to jerk off?
You
together?
guys remember when you were gay together?
You guys remember when you guys used to be homos?
You guys remember
And
when you're
are
still gay
homos?
now for having done that then?
Yeah. The stink never washes off.
Yeah, no, you're still
Yeah.
gay. Yeah.
Oh, I was at a party when I was 17 or 18 with some friends and ended up back at some dude's house, and he put on his dad's porn in the basement. We're all sitting watching it, and he was like, "You like her?" And I was like, I've never seen porn before. I didn't want to. I was trying to act cool.
How old were you? 17?
Yeah.
You had never seen porn at 17?
No, I was in a Christian
Church.
house. There was no
Yeah.
nothing. And then he was
Liberty
like,
University Evangelicals.
he was like, "What would you do to her?" And I was like, "This is not worth getting to see porn."
Yeah.
That he
This
wants to
weirdness.
discuss.
Yeah.
This is gross. Whatever's happening right now. is
We're not
gross,
going to be jail mates
Yeah.
telling each other jerk off stories in the bunk.
Yeah.
You don't. There's no reason for you to need to know what I would do to her.
The first real actual like dick in vagina porn that I remember seeing was
DIV.
my friend moved into a new house.
How old were you, first of all?
Oh God, early teens.
Early teens.
And his parents, I guess, had subscribed to the Playboy channel, but they hadn't locked his box out of it because they had some satellite shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So they didn't realize that his box could also get the Playboy channel. And so he put it on. And I don't know if you remember. Well, first of all, there's the famous Debbie Does Dallas from
Oh,
like
yeah.
the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was one that came out called Debbie Does Dallas 2000, and it was in the 90s. So it was like a 90s version of Debbie Does Dallas.
Jason X in space.
Yeah. And that was on, and I was just like, there's vaginas here.
Look at
there's
Debbie. She's
that
doing
kind of
Dallas.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'd seen pictures on like downloading from AOL,
Right.
but back then you couldn't download videos, right? You never couldn't download porn videos. That wasn't until
Does your
the
neighbor
late
watch the
90s,
stream?
right?
No.
Or only listen to the podcast? So he
No,
would love
yeah.
this.
No,
you
yeah.
got to tell him to watch the
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
stream.
No, I think
This is
I'm good
about
on
you
that.
talking
I
about
don't need
jerking
to,
off?
No, I don't need to hear. I don't need to hear any more of him
Talking about you.
me.
Yeah.
Talking about jerking off. Like, no, I'm good on that.
Here we are, three guys talking about jerking off, about
It's-
how gay it is to talk to guys about jerking
Yeah.
off.
Dude, would you guys?
We're generating content. It's not gay.
You guys are fine if I just take my dick
Yeah.
out right now.
What would
I
you
won't
do
look
to
at
that?
it. But you guys don't look at me.
What
And
would you do to that Chinese lady on the TV?
Yeah.
right now? The gin
Yeah.
dance. Up the humpy, humpy, humpy.
Oh man, yeah.
I took my
so
wife.
so did you? You didn't jerk off with him though? Right?
no.
Okay,
I didn't jerk off until we went to bed because
yeah.
that was one of those where it was like, I mean, it was like you
It's one of
you
those
pumped the
key
super
moments.
soaker way too many
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Like the pressure was getting there.
Time has come to make a choice. Are you gay or not?
But he had like a loft room, so he like was up on like up high in the loft, and I was down like on the normal thing. So I was like, oh, there's like lots of separation, and we're just like going to sleep. So I was
Right.
like, and it's like I said, sleepover jerk off under the covers. No one.
Oh, yeah.
It's dark. No one knows. You just got to
Yeah.
get it out.
Oh.
You're 14 years
Yeah.
old. It's time. It's
he's
time.
he's
you know?
asleep. He should be asleep.
No.
He's
Dude,
asleep.
Look, yeah.
It's not like you're in the same bed.
No,
You know?
no. And I'm have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone here is asleep, or they should be, or they better pretend to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they better pretend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm asleep. I'm just having a weird dream that where I move around like a worm. My wife and I went to Trader Joe's the other day, and on the way, I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. She was like, so do I. And I was like, I can take you to one of the finest restrooms in Austin. And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I know where all the best restrooms in town are. When I worked in the work truck, and I was all over town all day long.
You knew it. You
Like
were-
when I was
yeah.
training under old guys, they were like, go take a shit in the fucking 7-Eleven if you got to go. I'll
Yeah.
take you to the shittiest, grossest mom and pop convenience store to Citgo in the middle of nowhere. And you have to, this is where we're going to the bathroom. So once I got my own truck, I was like, I'm going to shit in luxury. I'm going to go to Southwest Parkway,
I'm going to only go to shit in
in
the
between
finest,
like this
the
huge
finest
office
of
buildings where
bathrooms.
you walk through an atrium with a fountain and a metal bird. And every stall has its own drywall air conditioning duct, like a door with a knob, no
Wow.
cracks.
Wow.
Like I found the best ones.
That's pretty tits. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to tell my wife how awesome it was, and she was like, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life." And I was like, "Wait, just wait until you see these bathrooms." And then we got there, and she was like, "We're not supposed to be here." And I was like, "Shut up, go in there."
You're white.
Yeah.
You can walk into an office building and go into the bathroom. It's fine.
I was like, she was like, "Do you have a list? Did you have a list in your work bathroom, like of events?" And I was like, "Of the best bathrooms?" I was like, "Yeah, I didn't have Do 512. I had Poo 512. The best bathrooms in Austin."
Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. If it was swapped and it was my wife who was with you and you were like, "I will take you to the finest bathroom in Austin," she would have been fucking jazzed. She would have been like, "Oh, really?" Because my fucking bastard of a husband only takes me to like these scummy ass McDonald's and shit like that. So she would have been stoked.
Yeah.
Although I have tried to get her to go to a hotel bathroom before, because I'm like, hotel bathrooms are the shit.
Best place to go.
That's the best place to go. And she's like, "We're not staying at the hotel." I'm like, "It doesn't matter." No,
I didn't realize you needed a key to get into the lobby restroom.
No one's
you know?
checking your fucking room
No.
key to go to the bathroom.
They're in the hospitality industry. That's part of it.
Right.
Just letting
That's
everybody take a nice dookie.
Right.
In the
That's
lobby.
the best place on a road trip.
Yeah.
When you need to take a shit.
Because you
go
could
into a
also be
lobby.
quick about it too.
Yeah.
You pull off the side of the road in a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
Walk right in, take a shit, get back in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
But I also did have
What's
a
wrong with these
spreadsheet of the
broads?
best tacos in Austin.
Oh. Well.
I have 3 criteria. There has to be an old woman, it has to be cash only, and there has to be a molcajete on the counter where you pay, like the pestle and mortar and pestle.
Yeah. What's the best taco?
I'll tell you later. I don't want it to be
You're not
crowded
gonna,
up.
Yeah. You don't want
You're like, I don't want 3 people.
I mean,
other people
Austin
to
is
know about
ruined,
it.
and there's already too many Californians here that fucked everything up. So it's kind of too late. So there's really no reason to like.
Yeah, we have to limit the number of Californians we tell about.
And
the
I don't really
taco
go to all
places.
these places anymore that
All right,
much
that's fair.
anyway.
That's fair.
I'll tell you the best one, and people know it already. It's called Marcelino Panivino. It's on the east side. It's on Tillery and Lyons. You'll see a bunch of city trucks out front. They have like a Subway counter of old women behind there, and they're all. It's just hot pots full of guisada and different stuff, and you just point and go, "Put that in the taco. Put that in the taco. Put cheese on it," and they've got freshly made tortillas in the back. They're always on a skillet, like hot, crispy.
Man.
They keep everything rotated out. It's perfect.
Man. You're making me hungry.
It's very popular.
That sounds good.
That is good.
I went to Taco Brother on Saturday morning.
What's Taco Brother?
Taco Brother is a trailer truck
Very
in front
close.
of the. It's not like Westgate and Harper's Ferry.
I know where that is.
So if you head up west, or sorry, it's Brody and Harper's Ferry. So if you head up past Evangeline Cafe,
Yeah.
and past
Oh.
that 7-Eleven,
yeah.
there's a liquor store and a
Yes.
gas station right there.
I know-
And there's
I know
a truck
that.
called Taco Brother.
Yeah.
They have really good breakfast tacos. We had those. I want to try some of their like lunch stuff.
Their Lily's fries are good. It's pulled pork over French fries with queso and jalapenos. It's a mess, but it's good. There was an Indian place that had something like that too. Not Taj Mahal. The place
Tandoori Lounge.
where you sent us for Italian on South First. If that
Oh,
Italian
yeah,
place
yeah,
is
yeah,
gone now, El Saporis.
El Saporis is gone.
No, and now it's a tandoori place, and it's really good.
El Saporis had gotten bad. It was really good right before and into COVID. It was an Italian food truck where they had their own handmade pasta, and it was really good. And then over the next like 2 or 3 years, it's just kind of lost it. They lost whatever they had, and it got worse. But it was so good at the beginning.
Man.
But yeah, I'll tell you some other the taco places later. There's some close ones around here. There's one I just went to recently that's really good. Tres Marias on South Manchac,
I've seen that.
across from Quackenbush's Coffee.
Oh yeah.
It's in the parking lot.
Okay.
I went to the wrong one the day before next to Vegan Yacht, and they did the cardinal sin of listing sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast taco on the menu, and you get one, and it's fucking wiener medallions. You're fired forever. I'm never going back there.
No.
If you fucking put hot dogs in a taco and call it sausage,
No. We're done.
your trailer is out
Unless,
of my life.
unless the only exception I have to that is Rudy's. Rudy's puts their sausage
Oh,
in
yeah.
their sausage.
No,
cheese.
yeah,
So
that's not hot dogs.
Okay, that's
Yeah, that's German sausage, or that's like the Texas barbecue.
Yeah,
sausage.
Elgin. The Elgin sausage
if
is
it's like
available
smoked
in this town.
sausage like that. That's
Yeah,
that's
okay.
different. Yeah.
We have a town that's famous for sausage right down the road. There's no reason to put a shitty hot dog in anything.
Yeah.
Elgin is right there.
Yeah.
They have the best sausage.
Yeah. What do you like in Elgin? What's like a good place to go in Elgin?
Well, Elgin's just I don't know even
General
where the
stores.
sausage.
Elgin
from.
General
Yeah,
Store.
the general stores for the sausage. We still need to go do. We need to do some barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Like we need to go out to Lockhart. We need to do a podcast trip. We've been talking about it since Drunkcast, doing a barbecue tour and recording ourselves.
Have you been to the World's Fair of Barbecue?
Where's
in
that?
Lockhart? In Lockhart.
In Lockhart?
It's a once a year
thing. Yeah.
They have this like once a year thing. And last year we went and like some of these big fancy places from Austin that everyone talks about now.
Yeah.
I'm like blanking on every single one of them, but like the Japanese place, the Japanese barbecue fusion place.
Oh, Loro.
Not that one. Although
Kimuri Tatsuya.
I fucking love Loro. I also love that place too. No, god damn it. Interstellar was there. There was a bunch of every like good barbecue place from Central Texas was there.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing. It was also expensive as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not a place that you go
Yeah.
and get out for spending like less than $200.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like the price of barbecue. I mean, a barbecue plate now is $30.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
So this is what this is what you do. You buy this like wristband. It's like $200, and you get to like go to all of these places.
Yeah.
And basically eat what they have.
Yeah. Just sample everything.
You need to go there extremely hungry. Like,
oh yeah, obviously yeah.
It was great.
But yeah, I've never done Franklin. I've never had Interstellar. I've had Blacks. Original Blacks, because it's everywhere in Austin now, and then I think I've had Terry Blacks here in Austin.
So what dish would you use to judge a barbecue place?
In Texas, it's got to be
it's
brisket.
Yeah,
in Texas.
What side would you check first? If you had to pick one side, how would you judge the entire restaurant?
Shit, I don't know. Potato salad.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I would agree.
Mac and cheese. Potato salad.
Potato salad is a very down home mom potluck
or whatever
type
of
thing.
whatever
some
potato
old lady made it. Same with mac and cheese though.
Yeah.
I think it would be whatever potato option, and there's potato and coleslaw. I mean, like there's your typical one.
If we go to, we should go to Lockhart and do. Is it Kreutz? Is that what?
Yeah, Kreutz Market or Cruise Market, whatever it looks like. Yeah,
I've done.
I haven't done that one. We stopped.
Have you never
early?
Have you never done that?
So we stopped in this is like the year 2000. We stopped in Lockhart and we had barbecue somewhere, and it might have been Smitty's that we stopped at. But yeah, there's Kreutz, there's Smitty's, and then there's Blacks, Terry Blacks, and then that split off into Blacks original.
Well, and there's City Market in Luling.
There's City Market in Luling.
Fucking
shit. That's good.
Honestly think
well, the one that was ranked number one for the longest time in Texas Monthly was Snow's in Lexington.
Snow's was at the Texas World Fair of Barbecue.
A friend of mine went not too long ago to Snow's. He left at 6 in the morning and drove out there because it's kind of near College Station.
Yeah.
And he was not really impressed with it, but that could have just been him.
So last year for Christmas, my stepbrother came out and he catered our Christmas Eve dinner with Franklin.
Okay,
and I wanted to not like it.
How many siblings do you have, Chris?
Just my sister, but I had two stepbrothers. One of them passed, and one of them's still alive.
Okay,
his brother, and. So Scott, by the way,
your sister older or younger?
Younger. She's a year and 5 days younger.
Okay, he's a big brother.
You look like my stepbrother Scott, the guy who catered the Franklin barbecue thing. Okay. So he comes in with Franklin barbecue.
So he's super hot, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
A very attractive guy.
Drives a piece of shit car.
Like looking in the mirror, Johnny.
I was telling Josh when he pulled up, I was like, every time I see that car pull up, I'm like, what piece of trash is at my house?
And every time I drive it, it becomes more valuable because it's already right side up.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a picture of this guy. I hope that you're deeply insulted that I said that you look like him, but...
Do you have an ogreish charm? It's kind of menacing.
Yeah.
Menacing, yeah.
He's a resting son of a bitch face.
Walking around at night like Slender Man scaring all the women.
Oh, Skip finally downloaded that old stand-up of mine from 12 years ago, and he sent it to me so I can have it.
This is him. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at him, I'm like, well, yeah, a little bit, but Donnie, what do you think? Oh, sorry.
The one just standing in the front?
Well, the one who's not a midget in the midget wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
so
showed me this before.
Josh, the one that's not a midget.
No.
You look like the guy that doesn't look like any of the other people.
Oh, yeah, he's hot.
What do you think?
He looks good. Is he bald?
A little bit? No, he's a haired man. He's a man with hair.
He's a man of hair.
He's a man of hair.
I'm a man of hair myself.
He caters Franklin, and you tried not to like it?
I wanted to be... No, here's the thing. I just didn't want it to be like, oh, my God, this is the best fucking thing ever. and I was like, holy shit, this is really,
Yeah.
really fucking good. I was totally blown away by how good the brisket was. Like,
Okay.
I just didn't think it. That's the thing, man. I not that I don't know everything, but I've been a good place. I've been to
Yeah.
Croy's, I've been to fucking Cooper's, I've been to Black's, I've been to City Market.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been to Cooper's and Llano. Like I've been to good places, and I was like, how much better could this brisket be
Yeah.
than any of these other places
Yeah.
where the brisket's great?
There's something to be said for
was
ambiance,
better.
though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like fancy Mexican places.
Me neither.
I'd rather
Me
eat
neither.
shitty Mexican
Me too.
food.
Me too.
And I don't like fancy subs.
Me too.
I want a shitty, like a Delaware subs.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of with barbecue.
Yeah.
I want half the restaurant to be outside,
Yep.
and I want there to be a weird smell,
Yeah.
not inside,
Yeah.
outside, because
Right.
there's like
Yeah.
a farm near
Right.
or something. But I want to know they got their eggs from some like a local farm,
Yeah.
and there has to be an old lady.
100%. Dude,
There's criteria.
there's nothing I fucking hate more than going to a fancy Mexican restaurant. It drives me absolutely fucking
Yeah.
I think the most
bonkers.
fancy Mexican food place I'll go to is like Glorious.
Because you're paying out the ass for
Like-
rice and beans, and
Yeah.
that doesn't
Yeah.
cost anything.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know what
Yeah,
glory
good
is.
grift.
fancy like yeah, maybe if there's some like gourmet interior Mexico shit. Like, have you been to El
Polvos.
Alma yet?
Yeah.
El Alma is not really expensive, but it is a little bit more like
Polvos has got some interior stuff. It's good.
this is a presentation of food, you know.
Right.
But I don't know. Some of it is, I will not. I mean, at this point, I'm like, I can make my own Mexican food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Is there more? Yes. Is there more, Daddy?
we're refilling.
Daddy, more. Daddy, Tommy, you likey. Want wingy.
So people seem to, or well, some media sites seem to think that
Now, media,
Ted
try and get this
Cruz
straight.
might be in trouble
In trouble for what?
for losing the election.
Oh, yeah. In future trouble.
Freezer's really good. I put this in there. I didn't think it was going to freeze.
Oh, it froze.
I feel like I'll just stick it on my taint for a few
Yeah,
Okay.
just put it right up
Extra
in there.
flavor.
Wrap it on my taint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to tell someone else that half the country was retarded, and they got mad that I was talking about Trump people, and I was like, no, I'm talking about half of both sides.
Yeah, right.
The extreme half of left and right are the retarded half.
Yeah,
It's 1/4 of each.
dude, I think Trump's gonna win. I don't think Kamala Harris can pull it off.
No, we'll see. I don't know. If he goes on Rogan, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all about turnout at this point. Nobody's changing their mind.
That's one of the next things I wanted to talk about. We had a thing yesterday. I posted the thing of last time Chris was here for an actual episode. We were talking about Trump going on Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
And I posted the clip of it, and this guy commented. I think I took a screenshot of it. He just yelled, Trump shouldn't go on Rogan. He doesn't need him. Do not go on Rogan, President Trump. You do not need him. Jesus is Lord. Which
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
Jesus is Lord is the new Allahu Akbar.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
didn't have anything to do with anything
Yeah,
he
Jesus
said.
is Lord is definitely Allah
It was
Akbar.
calling out who's
Allah
God for no
Akbar.
reason, no
Yeah.
context with the rest of the sentence or anything. Just
Right.
yelling Jesus is Lord at the end, like I'm right because
Yeah,
of
right.
this.
Right,
Inshallah, Trump shouldn't go on Rogan. Jesus
Yeah.
is Lord. Allah. So because we have these criteria,
Independence.
Yep. And what's your message to? Have you seen Donald Trump? Do you think he should step in?
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
I love that. That's my favorite thing. Favorite Trump.
what did you
drop.
say, Chris?
Oh, nothing important.
Yeah, I was just playing the China is asshole.
You're supposed to be in the kitchen making me a sandwich. If you're not on the mic, it's not funny. So
Did I have
because
the tall one or did I have the small one?
I don't care.
I don't know which ones of these. I think. Did I? I think
I had no.
Why are your hands wet?
I
had that.
Did you pee on your hands
Yeah.
again?
I think I had the one with
Why
bubbles
is your hands wet?
with the bubbles on the bottom of it. I think I had yours, Josh.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I had this one.
Treat you.
I was trying to remember which one I had while you were making them. I was like, oh shit, which drink was mine? I can't have Josh AIDS today.
Well, this is my last drink for a long time. And by a long time, I mean 2 weeks, which is a long time for me. Because of it.
Oh, but they're so good though.
I'm a huge boozer.
The old fashions are so good.
I'm glad you like them. I was really trying to get out of the house on time so I could be here at 7, but I had to watch the Dodgers lose, and then I had to clean up the mess in my
We're
house.
not on any kind of time crunch.
No, that makes 2 of you. I'm on a huge time crunch always.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm kind of like that if I'm going somewhere, going to somebody's house or going
Right.
to a function. But at my house, I'm like, it's whatever.
So because
Yeah.
we've come up with
Yeah.
these criteria for taco joints and barbecue joints, I have another one to propose to you guys.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Wait, a place to go or a place that we're gonna make?
no, we're going back to porn now.
Oh,
3 different ways you can tell if the girl was sex trafficked. Fear in the eyes. The wall behind her looks like corrugated steel from a shipping container. And some dude speaking in a different language meanly to her off camera. That's how you can tell. And this is Donnie's probably favorite because he likes when the girls are crying.
what if that's all my porn?
Yeah,
What if that's like all the porn I watch?
You just read my diary.
It was a slippery slope from Bang Bus to like desperate girls in Chechnya giving lap dances.
Come twice if you're being sex trafficked. They always are. Most of them are solo too. There's not like another actor involved.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
one girl in there.
right.
She's clearly surrounded by like 4 huge dudes behind the camera, so she has to do. And she's looks like she's trapped in a corner.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always 2 walls.
Do you think that a lot of these people on well, I don't. Here's the thing. I actually don't like porn with people who don't speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the dirty talk.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that German girls dirty talk so much more than English.
I know. I have a feeling I would love everything they're
I
saying,
don't even
but
learn
I
German
don't
just
know
for that
because I'm a
reason.
fucking German illiterate bastard. But what about the OnlyFans thing? Do you think that like the girls on OnlyFans are
I've
being
never done that
trafficked?
yet. I've watched
I haven't done
ripped
it
off
either.
ones.
Yeah.
I've never paid for it.
Yeah, I don't pay for that. I don't
Yeah.
pay for any of that.
Yeah.
Own porn.
Yeah, I don't know.
As a matter of fact, I thought it was really awesome whenever the 4chan guys reported those chicks to the IRS.
Yeah.
They call it thought audit.
Thought it.
Well, I mean, it is awesome, except for the fact that I hate the fucking IRS. There's
Right. Yeah. It's just it's one it's like watching 2 people you hate fight each other.
Right.
Although I don't
Right.
hate OnlyFans chicks.
no, yeah,
But
Yeah.
I do think that we need to like even things up. Like, cause like dudes have to worry about it. Why shouldn't you have to worry about it?
I'm watching 2 people that hate fight each other right now. I don't like Chinese people or Mongols.
You're a racist.
Yeah, corrugated steel
appar-
shipping container walls. What are some other telltale signs that the girl's been trafficked?
A lot of blood.
I like the fear in the eyes. That
A
gets me
black
extra.
eye. And like,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just proof that the patriarchy is not systemic. It's endemic. It's been here for thousands of years,
Yeah.
and it's not going anywhere.
yeah, that's
We're not
right.
going to all of a sudden be better now.
No, you can just yell at people, yell sexist at them until the
Yeah,
patriarchy.
you're a
goes away.
Nazi. You can't go to Roscoe's because you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
Speaking of the patriarchy, I haven't seen any of those folks in a long time. I'm assuming you haven't either since you know who and you know who else broke up, right?
Who I've seen the boy a lot. He's my neighbor.
No, I know, but hey,
No, I haven't seen any of them.
hey, it's my kid. I need to make sure everything's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Pause. No, yeah, we've been trying to tell him not to call her for a long time because he misses getting laid. He can't stop himself. Fuck.
I don't like. I've always tried to tell him there's no problem with that. It's the being gay about it.
Yeah.
like, you should be able to control your feelings enough to like not be like, I'm so depressed and anxious because of this chick I'm banging.
Yeah. Well, breakups are difficult no matter what, but it was only less than a year, so it should be. Right. And his life is better for not being with her, so he should be happy.
Right. You don't see her anymore.
No, we've been trying to make sure he doesn't call her because he's been, he hadn't been laid in a couple of months now. But he went 2 years without pussy before, so I think he'll be all right.
2 years without pussy?
Yeah.
God damn.
He wasn't willing to do the work to go get it.
Yeah, I guess
It's barely worth it, dude.
I guess I kind of get it. Actually, I kind of get it. I talk a big game for a dude who's been married.
I know you've been married for that long. Like I've been on stretches where it's like years. But it's one of those like I think that I should be Don Draper. I should just go to a bar, sit down, have a drink, and immediately have a woman come up to be like, "Are you here alone?" Like,
because
that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
That has happened to you, right?
And
You've had that.
No, Don Draper had it happen to him. No, it's one of those like doing stand up. Like the first time I ever did stand up, I just absolutely destroyed or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the times whenever it just works out and you pull it off, and some chick bangs you just out of nowhere.
Right.
This is how it should always be. Why isn't? And then you start getting mad that it's not always like this.
Yeah.
Chris, have you ever gotten ass from a bar, like a one night stand?
AIDS?
Ass.
Oh yeah, yes.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. In Daytona Beach at Chili's.
I mean, that's
just like
that's
the
so
worst
Florida.
way.
That is so Florida, dude.
That sounds about
It's
right.
just like having a shitty old Mazda with a George Thorogood CD stuck in the player with no third gear.
No air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm trash, baby. I like Malibu.
Yeah.
I get anal and do coke on my birthday and New Year's only.
One time I was in Europe and there was this girl trying to figure out I was in France and there was a girl trying to figure out the metro map, and I walked up and I was looking at the metro map. I wasn't like walking up to talk to her. I was just walking up to like figure out my shit. And she was like, "Oh, do you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I speak English." She's like, "Do you know how to get here?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going that way. Like, come with me. I'll show you where to go."
Yeah, nice.
And then
You're the hero already.
yeah, exactly. And so
Every girl wants that.
I got off at the place that she got off, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to have a drink?" And I was like, "Yeah."
And then you got off at the same place again.
Yeah, and then we ended up fucking. So that was a good one.
That's nice. That's like a movie. That's romantic.
That's a rarity. That's a huge. I mean, that's like
That's
a one-time thing.
And there are those that like what that
But you wanna
upper
do it
percent
again.
of dudes who just that happens.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
but then
time.
there's dudes that happens once and they think that's what's going to work every time.
Yeah.
Like
They try
me
and
and
make
Donnie.
it over and over again.
Like you, if you're in fucking Daytona
And you
Beach.
go tell
Why aren't these fucking retards laughing? What is wrong with them? The retards last week laughed.
The retards last week.
Yeah.
The retard last week fucked me.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this retard want to fuck me?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, I think that only happens for a certain sort of dude consistently, and it's a sort of dude who's like, you know, really good looking and in good shape, and like I'm not really good looking or in good shape. So
you can dedicate your life to pussy hunting.
Well, that
and
too.
you can do good if that's your main goal and thrust in life. But you're gonna get herpes eventually.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have a TikTok shout out to this guy, Used Oxygen 56. He works maintenance at a copper wire manufacturing plant. And I was like, how does it feel that most of your work ends up being sold for meth eventually? Because
they steal the copper. Yeah.
And he said this one guy ran a small vacuum down his pant leg and stole copper dust off the ground. It took him 6 months to fill 4 5-gallon buckets. But he had a heart attack on the job, and that's how he got caught. They had to cut his clothes off because of the heart attack, and they found the hose. But they were probably all breathing copper dust, too.
Yeah. That's why he had the heart attack, because he was breathing copper dust.
Well, he was breathing less than everyone else. He was hosing up most of it off the floor.
He had a
what
weaker.
was he doing? What
he had
the
a
hell?
weaker
Can you just like, I guess,
constitution.
use melt down copper dust into copper wire and sell it, or just copper itself? I guess they sell the.
If
copper,
I knew that,
right?
I'd be worse than Florida trash. That's Massachusetts trash.
Yeah. And that's Oklahoma trash.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
What do you think the worst state's trash is?
Oh, West Virginia.
West Virginia trash. I think Florida trash is pretty bad too.
I think Delaware.
Delaware trash.
I think
Yeah.
Delaware trash.
Oh yeah,
is
like
really bad.
shore trash, like Delaware Shore,
Yeah.
Jersey Shore trash.
Delaware Shore is fucking gross.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's fucking gross. I was honestly like, I don't know. I went to Delaware last summer and I was like, this is gonna be classy as shit. It's like the Eastern Seaboard. It's like, you know, it's like.
No, it's a dumping ground for credit card companies.
Yeah,
The credit card
exactly,
companies
yeah.
all base themselves there,
Yeah.
and then they just shit their turds all over Delaware.
Yeah.
And all the people who were there were the ones who couldn't get out to like Philadelphia or
Right.
New York or
Some-
whatever.
somewhere worth being.
So
Yeah.
they were all the poor dumb ones, and so they get they're poor dumb people with credit card company shit, like getting all up in their nose and shit. And they go to the shore, like, I gotta wash off. And then they go to the shore, and there's just shit all in the water.
Fuck, Donnie, you pretty much nailed it. That's exactly
That's
what I
what Delaware
experienced. Yeah, dude, I was if I already told you this, tell me to shut up. But I went into this Arby's. Did I tell you about the Arby's in Delaware? So I went into this My kids were like, "Dad, can we get Arby's?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." So we
Even I won't eat that.
you're fucking judgy.
Dude, it's liquid meat.
Yeah, it's fucking delicious. Wait, real quick, Donnie, Arby's, yay or nay? It's okay to be nay. I won't feel too bad about
The
it.
horsey sauce is good. I'll go in there and get some horsey sauce.
Yeah,
packets.
I haven't had
For
Arby's.
something else.
I never go to Arby's and get a beef and cheddar.
I love the beef and
Back
cheddar.
in the
or like
day,
a Big Montana.
Well,
or
back in
something.
the day, they had these like sandwiches that they would make, like actual like.
Oh,
you
like
know,
French dip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but just regular like deli sandwiches almost. And
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
get those, and they also have cherry turnovers. There's no fast food place that has like cherry and apple turnovers.
Yeah.
So I would go there for those, but I haven't had Arby's in probably 9 years, so
man,
I don't even know what it's
dude,
like now.
I went into okay, so I'll tell you this story about Arby's, and this will be a very, very like a strong reason to never go to Arby's, and definitely not in Delaware. So we're in Delaware, stop at this Arby's, and we walk in, and I go, "Hey kids, you order. I'm gonna go piss." So they order, and there's a couple
Move outside and let the man go pee.
there was a couple standing there, you know, when they went up to the counter, and I come out, and the kids get their food, and I'm like, "All right, let's go." And the guy from the couple, stands in front of me, and he's like, "Did you get a good enough look?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And he looks over at his girlfriend. He's like, "You get a good enough look?"
Let's take a picture. It'll last you longer. You
Yeah.
wad.
Yeah, and I'm like, "No, what? No." I'm like, "No, I'm not." That no,
I'm
I
not
think,
checking out your girlfriend.
I think you're misreading this. Yeah,
Just because you like that horse doesn't mean everyone else thinks
exactly.
she's pretty.
Dude, this chick was so fucking beat. She was like her teeth were all fucked up. I look at
So that's his kink, is fighting dudes and saying they thought she was hot.
yeah.
Maybe he was just trying to
validate.
pimp her out. Maybe he was just like, "You like her? We can, you know."
No. He wanted to fight.
Oh, you wanted to fight her.
And I look over at Kristen and the kids who I'm with, who I don't think he put two and two
Realizes
together.
that, yeah.
Did you get a good look? Why are you selling pigs?
And I look at Kristen and the
much for
kids,
the
and I'm
heifer?
like, "No, man, this is like my crew." Like,
Yeah.
and so I walk
Married with
outside. I
children.
like step around him, and I walk outside, and Kristen and the kids are still in there, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So like 10 seconds later, they walk out, and they're like, "Why did you just leave us in there?" And I'm like, "Because that guy wanted to fucking fight me." And she's like, "So you just like left me in there with
Yeah, he
him?"
didn't want to fight y'all.
I'm like, "Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about you. He wanted to fight me."
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, "I honestly," she's like, "I can't believe you." And I'm like,
Yeah, you should have died for your family so they don't have a dad anymore.
"Yeah, they didn't. He
You
didn't
do the
give
honorable thing and ruin your family.
a fuck about them. He didn't even know that I was with them until I like indicated that was the case." But yeah, this dude, he was ready. He was ready to throw down. Jacob's like, "Dad, we could go back there. We could like fuck him up." I'm like, "We're not going back there. We're not fucking anybody up." Like,
Dude, every son wants to fuck
Not-
somebody
not-
up with
not
his dad.
some
That's
piece
awesome.
of we all want to be Kratos' kid. You know?
Boy.
We I'm not gonna go. You and your son just beating the shit out of some Delaware trash.
Yeah, with
That'd
wrestling
actually be
moves.
more of an awesome story.
it would be pretty
Yeah,
dope. It would have been
yeah.
pretty dope.
You guys
Honestly,
try to Greco-Roman wrestle him. He's like, "Stop doing gay shit to me. I'm trying to punch you. Get your hand off my leg.
well, dude,
I don't fight gay. Stop wrestling with me. I'm not a hog."
Dude, yesterday I go to practice and I pick him up and his nose is all bleeding and crooked. And I'm like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "I broke my nose in practice." I'm like, "How did that happen?" He's like, "Well, so-and-so punched me in the face. And then I went to like take him down. And when I went to like get him, like he kneed me in the face."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "This doesn't sound like fucking high school folk style
The way to
wrestling."
break your nose is on another dude's nose that also broke.
Yeah, this sounds like you guys are just like beating the shit out of each other
Yeah, yeah.
in this thing. And I actually think that that's what it is. I think these kids are like,
they're getting amped up.
yeah, they're getting fucking.
Where's the adult?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's 3 adults and there's like 80 kids in the room.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a little fight over here and a little fight over here and a little fight over here.
And eventually somebody like, gets mad and it gets a little rough,
Yeah.
Like, it gets to them and they get a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me today, he's
That's
like,
what you're supposed to learn from like martial arts and fighting is like control and respect and that. That's the point of it.
this is the fucking second time he's broke his nose. I showed you the picture from last
He's gonna have a
year
really
when he
cool
broke his
Owen
nose,
Wilson
right?
nose when he's old.
I'll show you
He can
this.
have a zigzag nose.
I remember if you did.
It's cool. He can
Dude,
be a
this kid-
voiceover actor and be the car from Cars.
This kid, he's costing me a lot of money in medical shit. The amount of fucking teeth that he's broken like 6 teeth now.
How many new noses I've had to buy you? Noses are expensive.
I'm just like kind of getting tired of it. It's like, man, just like show some restraint. Like you don't have to kick the shit out of these people all the time.
How old is he? 17?
He's 16.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gonna bring him over here when he's 18?
Yeah, maybe.
Teach a little Tyrannosaur how
I
to
mean,
bite.
man, he's a little fucker.
He said he was funny. Yeah.
He is pretty funny, but I don't know where the fucking picture. I'll find it. Yeah, he broke his nose last year. He had to wear this fucking like Hannibal Lecter style mask for like
Nice.
the whole year to protect his nose since it was fucking broken. It's like,
Beautiful
dude,
baby nose.
Every time I talk to any of my friends who have like wives and kids, and they start talking about like how sick they are of something, I'm like, well, I'm starting to just give the Chris Watts advice. Okay, yeah, that's him
It looks
with
badass.
the mask on.
yeah, that's him with the mask on because his nose is broken.
Oh, okay.
He has to wear the mask
Yeah,
to protect his nose.
yeah,
Yeah, it looks bad as fuck.
yeah. He looks like a freaking. He looks like the.
It looks like it's there to keep him from biting people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter style.
Yeah, it looks like fucking Hannibal Lecter, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
So I was looking at our red circle thing, the map of where our listeners are.
Bastard.
We have listeners in Shanghai.
I don't think that's a.
So I would like to tell them, yeah, for listening.
Sure.
That means thank you.
Sure.
I don't think that is anything other than robot ears.
Yeah,
listening
everything's
to
fake.
that
Though.
thing.
Well,
no one likes us and
Peter.
everything's fake.
Yeah.
Chris, we were talking about seeing someone yell at their kids in public.
Yeah,
parenting.
yeah. Right.
And at what point do you step in
Yeah.
when someone's
Yeah.
because given today's like wokeness and everything,
Right.
people shouldn't even be raising their voice at their kids at all in public. Like it's really weird to see, given how everything is online. It's really weird to see somebody doing something that politically incorrect to a child out in the world. And, when I see it, I'm like, this thing must be really way worse at home if you're willing to, like, be that shitty to your kid in front of everybody.
Okay. So,
Also, you should be able to leave your kid at home
well,
and do your errands by yourself.
yeah.
Everyone doesn't need to go grocery shopping together.
That's true. I just always am kind of like, it's the same thing when I see a guy smack his wife. I'm like, well, what did she do? Like, I'm always kind of wondering, like,
She shouldn't have been mouthing up.
I mean, I don't know. You've never hit your kid? Kids? Never.
I've dragged him up the stairs to put him in his room, but because he screams and he gives his mom a migraine, and I have to get him out of the room so that we all don't have a bad day.
Right.
But then he got big enough to drag all the paintings off the walls. So it's like if I have to take him upstairs, we're gonna have no more paintings.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But no, I don't want them to be afraid of me.
See-
I'm too big to be that. There's too many Disney stereotypes of the mean bad dad guy, and I don't want to be that.
See, I did want them to be afraid of me, and I still do to a certain extent.
Yeah, I had one of my kids one time was like, "Dad, I want to ask you something, but I'm scared you're gonna get mad." And I was like, "Oh, good.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
We're at a good spot right now.
Yeah,
Let's keep
exactly.
it right about here."
Don't you think that there's a healthy fear, a healthy amount of fear there, like that?
Okay, 12 downloads in China.
Yes, yeah. For listening.
One of them, funny enough, none on Dumb Chinaman.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait, none of them are dumb Chinamen?
None of them are on the episode Dumb Chinaman.
Oh,
yeah.
that was a good. That was
Yeah.
They were over that one.
But there was one. There was
Didn't even wanna
one
check and see
China.
what it was about?
One China download on Birthday Party in the Surprise Jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, something happened.
We should just always name
One
it,
on Feet Shoulder Width Apart.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe. Do you know any Chinese people? Are there any former China
I do.
co-workers?
No, I do know a lot of Chinese people.
It's
who
not
live
about
in
the nail.
Shanghai. Yeah, I do.
What? It's not that one. Not that one autistic Chinese dude that you knew, right?
Hector Wong? No,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
so.
Unless this is Hector Wong's entire family all downloading from China, but there's a lot of Chris-centric episodes that are getting some China downloads.
Yeah.
The season premiere,
Oh.
Fast Casual. Well, that Fast Casual is you and me.
Dumb busty cock.
But yeah, it's not about the nail, feet shoulder width apart. Yeah, that's lots of Chris episodes being downloaded in China.
Daniel's son, very popular.
Do you see?
Very popular.
Dude,
Okinawa.
One time, do you guys know about the KTV, the karaoke place with the hookers?
No, what? Let's go.
So
I mean, I heard.
Well,
a friend told me.
It's in China. So I went to this karaoke place, and before you sing any karaoke, they march a bunch of women in.
It's the longest prologue ever.
And you point at one of them, and she sits with you for the night, and she pours your drinks, and she tells you how funny you are and shit like that.
Oh, it's like a hostess bar?
Yeah, like a hostess bar. Yeah. And so at the end of
those women know how huge of a boner I would get if they told me that I was funny?
Oh,
they don't know my kinks.
Oh, they'll tell you you're funny. You'll have a huge boner the whole time. Yeah, and also
the best audience ever.
So this one,
that's all I want is for people to tell me I'm funny. You've just been reading my diary.
Josh, I think you're funny.
Yeah, I'm funny looking.
This girl at the end of the night, she's like, I will never forget you and your big, beautiful nose.
Nice.
I'm like, bitch, that's not complimentary. That's not a nice thing to say, actually. Made me feel bad about myself.
I used to eat Chinese food with my Filipino buddy every day during work, and it took 2 years for the Chinese women to come up to the table and ask if they could touch my hair. They had been working up the courage for 2 years. And I'd always see them talking and looking at me and pointing and whispering to each other. And I was like, what the fuck is going on in this place? Oh. And then finally they came up after years and said what I knew they'd been waiting to say. And it was, can we touch your hair? And I was like, you could have touched my hair day one. Yeah. I do not care.
You didn't even have to ask. You could have just walked up right up and done it. And I would have been totally fine.
And then I looked at them and I was like, can I touch your hair?
Yeah.
I really don't care, and I don't want to. Like, I know what it feels.
Yeah.
I'm not curious of what Japanese Chinese hair feels like. I can pretty much imagine it feels like hair.
I had a lot of Chinese people in China touch my arm hair. They'd walk up to me and touch my arm hair. One time I was walking.
You're a golden god.
I was walking up the Great Wall of China, and I was wearing a short sleeve shirt in the middle of winter.
How many times have you been to China?
A lot.
Did you tell any of your friends over there about this show?
No, I don't think so.
The show is a secret. You're not supposed to tell anyone ever.
I tell some people, but none of my dumb Chinaman friends.
Dumb is American for smart. Ever since Trump became president, dumb means awesome in America.
Means awesome. Yeah. I was walking up the thing, and it was the middle of winter, and I was wearing short sleeves. I was hot as fuck because I was walking up this.
I'm still hot as fuck.
Thank you. And this guy comes up to me and he's like, what did he say? He's like, you don't have to wear long sleeves because you're so fat. And I was like, that's cool. Thanks, bro.
They're so honest.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't have to live in a house because you're so poor.
Sorry, I'm not from a country with only a piece of fish a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And a piece of rice.
All these fucking Chinamen walking up and down the stairs.
We went and got gummies from the weed place.
Yeah.
And
how'd that go? Which way? Smoke and Chill?
Yeah. My wife was like, which ones do you want? I was like, the relaxed ones. And she was like, what? And I was like, there's one called Relax. I want the relaxed ones. And then she came home with the one, it said Relief. Because I was like, yeah, it's R or something, I can't remember. And she was like, yeah, they didn't have Relax, they only had Relief. And I was like, what about Retarded? I want the gummies that make me feel like I'm fucking retarded. Do they have that R? How about that R?
She's like, you don't need that one. you're good.
You're already
good.
Chinese.
Don't take that one.
You're already a dumb Chinaman.
Yeah, just take the other one.
When you write damn it, do you spell it D-A-M-M-I-T or D-A-M-N space I-T, like a gentleman?
Not the second, the latter.
You do it as 2 words? Damn.
No, I do it as one word, but D-A-M-N-I-T.
Oh, really? I do damn it. D-A-M-M-I-t. Because that's that's the Texas spelling.
That's yeah.
Damn it.
Damn it. I'm a Texas man.
Yeah. I do it with 2 words, but I draw Muhammad in the middle between the 2 words. I saw a lady in traffic, waiting for the green light, and it turned green, and she went like this, yes, like Napoleon Dynamite, and then went on the green light.
You're like, you dumb cunt. It was going to turn green eventually.
What kind
like
of cartoon world are we living in that
yeah.
you have to do act outs for like shit that was going to happen anyway? And then I saw another lady at a crosswalk, and the crosswalk went white man walking, so it was time for her to go, and she did a little clap. Am I fucking tripping balls? Why are all these women doing cartoon shit around?
Yeah, because they're women.
I used to see women crying in their cars when I was in the work truck, and now I see women doing little celebrations. And I think I feel like maybe it's like some kind of new mindfulness thing, or like living in the moment, or like sparking joy, or whatever, getting your endorphins off of whatever the fuck you can.
That just happen like internally.
From your dreary
without
existence.
You being a fucking weirdo.
Without being performative and letting everyone know how happy you are in the moment.
Yeah.
All right, so this I love, and I need an explanation. Have you ever been to a British music festival?
I don't think so.
2 boys snuck ketamine into cream fields in Cadbury cream eggs up their butts.
How did they get it? Did they inject it in?
That was a bad move.
I don't know, but they look like 2 dudes that would do that.
Yeah.
They're chavs.
Yeah.
They're like, speaking of trash, you guys were talking about trash from other places of states, like Florida trash.
Oh, dude, UK has some trash.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're gypsies at a certain point.
Yeah.
They just go live by the river.
Right.
In West Virginia, they started shooting at the trash men, so the trash men stopped coming. So trash just piles up on the side of the road. And then they stop paying their water bill because there's a river near them, and they just bathe in the river.
I'm not going to live in a nanny state where they pick up my garbage and I have running water from the government.
That's like caveman trash.
Yeah.
Like you get to a certain level of trash where you're a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Like they have trailers and they live by the river, but they don't have water or trash service because they harassed those services to the point of not existing anymore.
Yeah. Oh, man.
If you're trashy enough to fuck up municipalities so that you no longer receive service, that's ultimate.
You heard about that New Hampshire town where they were like, they elected a libertarian mayor. You've had to have heard this before, right? They elected like a libertarian. I love how I'm like, I've never seen Star Wars or any of the Marvel movies, but you have to have heard about this libertarian mayor in this New Hampshire town. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm too busy watching Star Wars to know about that.
Yeah.
The important stuff.
They elected this libertarian mayor who was going to like institute
entitlement.
Libertarian principles. There's a bunch of shit that he did, including like disbanding trash service and a bunch of shit. But essentially, within like 2 years, bears took over the town.
Nice. That happened in the outskirts of Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, am I thinking of the wrong
industrial areas?
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong
Any town that
place.
gets poor enough where they are abandoned on the outskirts.
But the thing is that this town didn't get poor. They were actually like a fairly not wealthy, but it wasn't a poor town. It was just a normal ass town.
Dude, where there's bears falls under there's not air there for me. Don't go in space. Don't go underwater. You can't live.
Yeah.
There's not air.
Yeah.
Also, where there's bears, you'll die. Then you're not breathing anymore.
Right.
Then there's no air.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Don't go into a dangerous. I don't understand why people live in places where there's bears at. They're murder machines. You have to put your trash in the garage, otherwise they'll smell it and come to your house all the time. Anytime you put chicken outside.
Most bears don't give a fuck. I've come across bears a couple of times. Don't get me wrong. I've been scared as shit every time I've come across a bear. They've wanted absolutely nothing to do with me.
Just bears and big cats their faces are engineered by God to kill.
I feel you.
There's only one reason for them to be like that. To murder.
That's why their eyes look directly forward at the prey.
Like a Chinese person.
Yeah.
Oh man, I ran that joke about the dude at work being so surprised because it was the first time he'd been surprised. He was told that he wasn't smart, and I really rolled the dice on that one because it's like I fired these people's coworker, and then I was like, "Hey, you guys want to hear a funny joke?"
Yeah.
But they all loved it. I think everyone hated the guy.
Harvey Weinstein became a movie producer so that he could do Casting Couch. You got successful and you own a company so you could be a dickhead sometimes. You earned it, man. Take it and have it.
You know that like
that's your privilege.
That whole thing.
You've been working your whole life for this.
Is what gave me the shingles. Like I'm sitting here joking about it, making ha-has about it. Well, all of it, like having to like fire 2 people over the course of like 3
You think
weeks.
you stressed your own skin out to the point of
100% sure
being
that's what
retarded
it
in the
is.
skin area.
I'm 100% sure.
Now you're skin tarded.
Dude, I've had so much existential crisis over the past like 6 weeks with this thing because it's like still not gone exactly. Like I feel a lot better, but it's still not completely gone. And I'm like, well, this is my life now. I basically am just a man walking around with chicken pox in perpetuity. Like,
Did you hear about my existential crisis?
no, what's your existential crisis?
I realized that when I was a teenager, I mostly jerked off just so Jesus would have something to have died for, because I wasn't sinning, because I was too much of a good boy. And I was like, why am I doing this? Is it just because he's the kid at HEB whose job it is to put the shopping carts away, so you just leave them out because that's someone's job? That's Jesus. He's the 14-year-old boy at HEB that cleans up the shopping carts.
What year did you realize, like in your life, where you're like, actually, all this is bullshit?
23.
23?
Ish, yeah.
Donnie, what
when
about
I
you?
got pussy, 22. As soon as I got laid.
What about you?
I mean, I remember being 6 years old and just being like, this is just fairy tale shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is no different. We're all just pretending.
Right.
All of us are just pretending.
Yeah.
I got baptized at 8, and I didn't feel any different. And as soon as I got baptized and I like was out of the pool or whatever, I was like,
Yeah, nothing magical.
oh, we're all just pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big-
And I was
yeah.
8 at that point.
Right.
So
What
yeah.
about you? Were you raised religious first?
Well, I was raised Catholic, so not the same way. It's not the same
Yeah,
thing
you can
as
still
like
be Catholic forever and not really believe.
anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being a Jew.
Yeah.
Like it's very cultural. I mean, I don't consider myself to be a Catholic, but I can roll into a Catholic church right now and do all the shit. I know
Yeah.
all
But
the
it's gay
prayers.
to
All the secret
identify as a
handshakes
religion.
and
I know when to stand, sit,
Yeah.
kneel. I know all of
Yeah,
that.
when to
shit.
put the pinky up the priest's asshole. Yeah.
Always. The answer
Yeah.
is always.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because if you take your pinky out, that's when they start diddling kids.
yeah.
It's like there
like a
must
key.
always be someone
Yeah,
with the pinky up
yeah.
the priest's asshole to
Yeah.
keep him in check.
Okay, you're Catholic too. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But yeah,
Going
I don't
into
know.
this darkness.
I never really subscribed to it, and the older that I got, the more I was like at first I thought, I don't know, like there came a point where I was like, no, all the adults know too, and they're lying to me,
Right. Yeah.
and that was like an infuriating thing
Yeah.
to me, because at first I don't know, I don't think I thought that as like a 6 or 7 year old kid.
But I didn't get that mad about Santa Claus. Like, I lived believing in Santa Claus till I was 5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Santa Claus was the thing that really prepped me for like, oh, Jesus is the same thing.
Oh yeah.
That was really Santa Claus that prepped me to be like, oh, we're all pretending.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think for me it was like, oh, people are capable of telling deep lies to me.
Yeah.
Like very, very
People
foundational
who say they love me
sort of lies.
are actually, we're
Yeah.
all living a lie.
Yeah. But I never was like, oh, I'm not going to do sexy things because I think Jesus died on the cross and like I can't do that or else it's like I don't know, some sin against him or something. I literally never ever had that thought like, go across my head.
For us, it was way deeper. Like, 'cause I don't remember them really, at least. I mean, they're like, yeah, no sex before marriage, but I don't remember anybody in church saying anything about jerking off. Like, I remember, and then my dad's position on it was like, it's a natural human function.
Yeah.
It's like taking a shit.
Yeah.
So like I never had it. Definitely never had it with jerking off, but maybe more with actual like sex,
Yeah.
or something.
Definitely.
It felt more shameful, which made it better. You know, you're
Yeah.
Catholic, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Addicted to shame, baby.
yeah. But I never had any thought like that, and also because I was like, we're all pretending. We're animals. This is what animals do. This is part of like how like everything works in objective reality. So
Right.
it must be just part of everything, you know?
Right.
I heard a sermon about being too busy to sin. And so I was, 15, 16, I had a job, I had school, I had a church life. I had enough going on where I was too busy to sin. Like I didn't, they tell boys to play basketball so you don't jerk off, just uses up all your energy or whatever. Like I had no time. to do.
It's not like you're bouncing the ball with your dick. Like,
I just didn't have time to do or think anything bad. Like I had a little girlfriend, I'd see her sometimes, but I don't think I was really sinning at all for a long stretch.
were you guys like making out?
Yeah.
You and the girlfriend? Were you feeling her titties or?
Yeah, but that's not a sin. It was a made up sin by the church. Like the bad thoughts and all that shit. They made that shit up when the people stopped murdering each other for food.
Wait, but you thought it was a sin. Like you felt bad about like making out with her and feeling her titties. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean that was the slow roll into being 23 and realizing it's not really as bad unless you're hurting someone.
Yeah.
Just don't, it's the golden rule. Don't do unto others as you would have them do to you, and don't hurt anybody. Do whatever the fuck you want, just don't hurt anybody.
And I would definitely have that chick jerk me off. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna put my fingers all up in that vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remember when this is?
You didn't hurt her. You made her feel good.
This is a bit of a
That was
transition,
nice.
but do you remember when like you're a kid and you're like, I got 4 fingers. I'm sure that was really pleasant for her.
They like 2 or 3 sometimes.
I'm sure when you.
Yeah, I never went over 3.
I'm sure
like,
when you
so
were
I was like
that girl.
Yeah.
3, I've been
fist
asked
loving
for
it.
3. If they ask for 3, then you're like, ooh, whore.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you're definitely not going to be satisfied once I get on top of you.
Speaking of jabbing stuff into girls, did you hear about the stabbing at the school over here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Covington.
Yeah, that was where your kid was supposed to go.
And
No.
yeah, one went there, and the other one was supposed to
Yeah.
go there. So we dodged a bullet, a knife.
You dodged a knife, yeah, a knife bullet.
So here's my favorite comment from one of the moms.
Oh, I read these articles too.
As a parent, I was not informed until I got a call from my kiddo at 11 to come pick her up. I had no idea it was a whole school thing until I turned on to Convict Hill and saw all the police cars and parents. Most terrifying moment of my life. It took almost an hour to get my kid. I guess it's going to be a 4-day weekend at our house. Your kid didn't get stabbed,
Yeah,
but you're
Yeah.
making it all about you that you had to fucking wait in traffic.
yeah. At least you have a weekend with your kid.
Well, the girl is all right, but the guy that stabbed her threw a smoke bomb on the ground.
I heard that.
It was a
I
green
read
smoke
that.
bomb.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "Is he like a ninja or like Batman?" I'm like, "No, honey, it's the Green Goblin."
Yeah,
Peter?
man.
Yet another Willem Dafoe reference for today's episode.
I don't know the reference, but
He was the Green Goblin.
You
in
watched
Spider-Man.
the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, right? You ever watched any of those? Do you just not go to the movies?
I mean, yeah, not a lot.
Like,
I feel
not
like
a lot for 25 years.
not a lot for like 45 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of shit, but like I guess I just never got into that stuff. I never got into comic book stuff really.
Yeah, well, you never got into Star Wars.
I never got into Star Wars.
What other? Did you ever watch the Jurassic Park movies?
Yeah.
Did you watch
Yes.
the Fast and the Furious? Or
No Fast and
did you watch
Furious.
Speed 2 Cruise Control?
No, I watched Speed 1 though. That was great. I mean, I've seen
The Matrix, all the Matrix
I've seen
movies.
at least the first one of the Matrix movies.
The only one there is.
I got this beta, Donnie.
You watch like the Step Brothers and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
Apatow comedies.
All of them.
You watch. So you watch like 40-year-old Virgin and
every
Knocked Up.
single
and-
one of them. Yes.
Yeah.
I watched Freaks and Geeks.
I watched Freaks and Geeks as it aired. I watched Freaks
Yeah,
and Geeks.
yeah,
too.
yeah, dude. What a great show.
Oh, it was so great.
We watched it with the kids recently too.
Yeah,
they
it's a really
absolutely
good.
loved
It's
it.
just
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
God, that's one. That's more than that and Firefly. I guess are the two like.
I never watched Firefly. Kristen
Yeah.
watched Firefly and loved it. She was super into it. But
Did you watch District 9?
I didn't watch this.
Did you watch the Matt Damon one, Elysium?
No.
Chappie?
No.
This guy Neil Blomkamp is a sci-fi, bleak sci-fi guy. All his movies are about how fucked up things are going to be in the future.
Yeah, but
So
the problem
fucked
is
up.
that his movies got worse and worse.
Yeah.
and so
And now he's made a video game.
So now he's making. I thought this was the thing he had where he had like short little clips of movies and shows.
No,
too.
the beta is out. I played it. it's a battle royale.
Oh, okay.
basically, but
Okay.
you have to get all your limbs.
I
cut
saw.
off.
I watched Battle Royale.
Yeah.
You mean the Korean or Japanese?
Japanese movie.
Yeah.
So did you watch the Hunger Games movies?
I watched the first one.
Because when the Hunger Games was out, I read the book and I was like, this is just Battle Royale.
Battle Royale,
Yeah, this
yeah,
is like the exact same thing. Yeah.
But this is very Neil Blomkamp. It's very bleak. But Battle Royale is now like a game mode that people talk about, like with Fortnite, where you have limited
yeah.
weapons
Battle
and the thing
Royale
shrinks.
mode,
yeah.
Same
Right.
shit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that like, I just am not like a avid consumer of like all nerd things. I have like specific things that I've seen or whatever, but like I just haven't like kind of across the board like been into it. Here's the thing though, everyone talks about all this shit, and mostly they talk about being disappointed.
Yeah, especially now, especially since, at least in the last 5 years, and really since about 2015.
Yeah,
everything has kind of the quality
Ever
of
since
everything has
Avatar,
gone down
because people had avatared it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, they felt depressed
Well,
that
see,
the world would never be.
I
like
think
that.
it was literally whenever Captain America: The Winter Soldier came out. So you don't know what this is, but in the second Captain America movie, which is like the halfway point of the whole, like the whole Marvel storyline that's happened in the movies, you know, you know the story of like Captain America, right? Who he is or whatever. No. He was a weak little guy who couldn't make it, who the army wouldn't accept in the 40s, but they invented this serum to inject him with, and it turns him into like a big buff, like superhuman strength dude, and he becomes Captain America, and he goes over and he fights, and he's a superhero in the 40s, and then he gets
Spider-Man
frozen.
Story all over again. He was a nerd, wimpy.
Yeah, but then he gets in the middle of all, he gets frozen in the Arctic, and they don't find him again until modern day, and so he's like transported, you know, to that's who Captain America has always
still
been.
Says
right?
things are nifty, and
so the person.
So he still has the sensibilities. Of
he's a guy from the 40s, and he's in
Blast
the
from the
modern day,
past.
right?
Yeah.
But his arch enemy, is a guy named the Red Skull, and he's basically a Nazi. It's like a magical Nazi.
You don't know he's a Nazi. Why is everybody calling everybody Nazis all the
Yeah.
time?
And
Just because you say that now, he can't do comedy.
He's
And he can't go to
actually a Nazi.
Roscoe's because you said
No,
Nazi.
Josh, he's
you said the
actually a
N-word, and
Nazi.
now he doesn't. His career's ruined.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
And meanwhile, the guy's just like shoving Jews into the ovens. And Josh is just like, a Nazi? Really? We're just going to call this guy a Nazi.
It's not fair to put labels on people.
But anyway, Red Skull is his nemesis, right? And Red Skull's organization is called Hydra, and it's basically like an offshoot of the Nazi Party or whatever. So in the first movie, he defeats him, whatever. And then in the second movie, after like the crazy Avengers stuff, like with aliens and stuff has already happened, in the second Winter Soldier movie, he basically uncovers a plot by Hydra, the like Nazis of Marvel, to that they've completely infiltrated the American government. And basically the American government has been like controlled by Nazis this whole time. And he finds that out in the middle of it, right? And that's what happened in 2014 whenever it's like all the Hydra got into all the entertainment stuff and started turning it shitty because it's the kind of mind, what Elon Musk would call the woke mind virus or whatever, but like that kind of identity politics type stuff really took over in the writers' rooms. Because the companies pivoted to that because it had taken over the comic books first. Yeah. And it all started about like 2014.
Yeah.
And of course, 2014 is when that Gamergate thing happened. Whenever it was like,
well, it's also like a year after basically Tumblr kind of like really
I think Yahoo bought Tumblr in 2013.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was 2013. And it's when basically like all of this kind of like, we talked about this before. I'm going to kind of fuck it up because I got a little bit drunk. But
no.
Yeah.
The boozy baby.
I was like drinking through the whole game at home.
You've been gaming all day.
I've been watching.
We were trying to catch up with you, and you had the same amount of drinks.
Yeah, I was.
You're always going to be older.
Yeah, I'm a huge bitch.
I'm a huge bitch.
But anyway, they this was like the whole thing where it's like they were afraid to write stuff. Oh God, we talked about this, so I'm gonna fuck it up now. But anyway, they were basically afraid to write stuff because they're like, oh, if this was happening on Tumblr, where they're like, if you're writing this stuff,
if you depict this, then it means that
it's in your head. Yeah. It means that it's part of your identity.
That was the most extreme part of that stuff, and that is the kind of people, the kind of Tumblr fanfic writers have really gotten in, and fan fiction writers are not good writers.
Right.
You know, like
right. They're fucking garbage.
Yeah, they're freaking autistic teenage girls. You know, they're just idiots, right?
Right.
And but a lot of that kind of sensibility has gotten into that, and it's you can see the stuff that was being developed at the time that all that happened. Like 5 years later, it gets into the stuff. So like right now, we are seeing like the height, like the stuff that's coming out and really flopping really bad.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that really entered production in like George Floyd 2020 and stuff. So we're getting some stuff that is just like it's agenda before any type of like storytelling, plot, character, any of that kind of stuff. And we're really seeing it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully someday. I also don't really ascribe to the idea that like that artists like have to play this game. Like there's enough ways to like, you know,
you can make it good and it'll do good.
Yeah. Exactly.
There are still some good movies.
Yeah, exactly.
It can happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are still some good movies.
But it's weird to be able to see, especially when stuff like these Star Wars shows and some of that, like all the unspoken rules that are in place regarding plot and character.
Yeah.
Like a white man at the very worst, at least, or maybe just a man or whatever, can't ever be shown to be right over a woman.
Right.
And if a woman is wrong, then it's because bad things happened to her that made her bad, you know? So, like, you can see,
And it
like,
was
all the
done by a
rules
man.
that they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that just happened in the last Penguin episode, which Penguin's been a really good show.
I've heard it was
and
good,
the Kristen Milotti, the chick she's the mother in How I Met Your Mother and a bunch of other things. She's really, really good in it, but there's the plot just goes a little bit too far into this is the most pure soul of all time woman that was corrupted by evil men, and now she's evil, but she was made evil, and it's not her fault.
Right.
Like it was just a little bit too far into that. Right.
Yeah.
We had a funny bit we were doing last year about make a movie about how we should care about another poor country, and then the whole budget that it takes to make that movie, like the documentary, is how much it would take to feed the fucking country.
Yeah.
So then we can tell them, like, we made this movie to raise awareness for your country.
Yeah, when we could have just
and all these starving people are like,
how much did $180 million worth of food.
How much did it cost to make the movie? Oh, about the same it would have been for a bunch of rice and beans.
Actually, way more than that.
The GDP of several countries. They could have started a whole nother Holland.
Yeah. There's not that we want to get too serious about this, but there have been like serious studies about this. I don't know, you know, like back in the 80s, the whole like, oh, like people in Ethiopia are starving.
Yeah.
Do you know about this whole thing about like how we started, like, it wasn't USAID, but it was one of those one of these like big things where it's like feed the children, and we're gonna like do this whole thing, and we raised all this money, and we like sent like tons and tons of rice to Ethiopia, and it was like we're gonna cure hunger in Ethiopia, and what we actually did was like completely wiped out the rice industry in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So like, there was
America.
Like,
Hell yeah.
It was like,
you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like now these people not only are they poor, they also have like absolutely no way of generating wealth, since like rice was like 50% of their GDP or something like that. But yeah, we still could like probably dump some money on them. It would be not a terrible thing.
So I have a PSA for the Austin comedy scene. This thing has happened several times, and I wonder what would have happened if you were with us, Chris.
Yeah.
Twice recently, we've been to a comedy show, and they've asked us to move seats. So I like supporting the local comedy scene, and I'll come to your fucking thing, and I'll bring people, and I'll buy stuff.
Right.
But I get to fucking sit where I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to move.
This happened to me
If you
too.
need me to move, that means you failed to fill up your room.
Right.
And I don't need to sit up front. I can perform comedy.
Yeah.
I don't need to help the guys. It's a 10-minute showcase. If you have to do fucking crowd work in 10 minutes, you don't need to be on the showcase.
Right. You know what the best, like the stupidest best thing to say to them is just to wave them up. Be like, I'm not a civilian.
Yeah.
Well, and then the
it's
host,
like the most like pretentious ass comedian.
The host gets mad at us for not moving, and I'm like, I'm not the asshole because you came over and fucked with me and my friends.
Yeah.
You had an event where it's free, but we had to buy something, and now you want me to not have a table to put the thing on.
Right.
You want me to come sit at the chair in front of the comedian and hold my little sippy cup like a baby.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make me buy a beer to come to this thing, then I'm gonna sit at the fucking table.
Yeah, that happened to me at before I met you guys. I went to do an open mic at that coffee joint off Riverside and I-35. Something coffee, but they
Buzzmill?
Buzzmill.
Yeah.
The same fucking thing.
Yeah.
They started the thing up there like, could you move over to these seats? If you do, they did incentivize me to do it.
Yeah.
I think they gave me a drink actually.
Yeah, they did that for us at Ned's at the pub. But then the comedians wanted to talk to us, and I was like, I'm not performing tonight.
Yeah.
I don't need to help you with your jokes. You can do 10 minutes without crowd work.
Right.
Or you can't.
Right.
And you shouldn't be here.
Right.
You shouldn't need me to help you.
Yeah. This is a very strange comedy scene here. The whole thing's weird.
We
Everything about
were
it's
talking
weird.
about it the other day, like that. It's like it's kind of like, you know, America went to another country and just put a military base right in the middle of it. Like you can't get in, you can't get out unless you're authorized, right? So it's almost like
the Guantanamo Bay of comedy.
It's the Guantanamo Bay of comedy.
Except you want to be in it. You know. It's like Joe Rogan showed up and he built a fortress in the middle of Austin. Yeah. And then you have to beg at the doors to get in. Yeah. Or pay a lot of money to get in. Right. And then it's weird to see what's happened to the scene around Austin because of that. It's been flooded, obviously.
It hasn't helped the scene at all.
No. And then the people who were here the whole time are just kind of like resigned to being Twitter communists or whatever. Yeah. And
way more artistic and cool 12 years ago.
Yeah. But they're the people who've been working on it the old Austin way for 12 years, 15 years, and they're really cool and funny, and they have like a lot of them, the ones who've been doing it long enough, they haven't had, you know, like fame success, but they've improved their craft really well. Like there's a lot of guys like Brian Garr is one of them, who's just worked on his shit for 15 years, and he's really funny, but he's still just going and doing these little showcases around here.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
You know, I guess he's not performing at Mothership or anything, which, you know, there are some local people here who are in good with people who are in good with the Rogan people who, you know, they can just say, oh yeah, this Austin guy is good. Let's bring him on or whatever.
And if I go to a comedy thing, I go for fun. I've already seen everyone's act. I've seen everyone's act in this fucking town. Yeah. I've been to enough mics over the last year. Yeah. I'm not going there because I want to hear their shit. Right. And I'm going for fun. And if you tell me to move seats, now it's not fun anymore. Right. I'm also going to help you, but I already helped because I showed up and I brought people and we bought shit.
Yeah, and you bought.
Stop asking for more than that. Yeah. I already helped you with your dumb thing.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know.
Asking people, my sister's husband has this compulsion every time we go out to eat with people. He finds some reason to like have everybody scoot down one so two people can sit together. And every time I'm like, no, dude, fuck you. You planned this wrong. We're outside on a nice patio in the sun. Everybody already got their food. And now you're like, everybody needs to scoot down one with their plates and drinks. And fuck you.
This just happened at Kristen's family reunion.
Yeah.
We all got in this restaurant. It was like a 25-person table. And everyone got sat down. And then like one of the cousins showed up late. And by the way, we were all doing separate checks because no one's paying for 25 fucking people, of course. Yeah. We all sit down, and the guy walks in, and he's like, oh, do you mind if we just, like, it's like, no, dude, everyone has fucking food. Everyone has drinks. The waitress has already drawn lines around who's sitting where. You're trying to move this guy now down, like, 5 seats. He's not going to be next to the person that he's fucking paying for. But guess what? We did it because the dude wanted to do it. It's like, Why?
I have the same problem when my wife tells me to look at the moon, but it's behind me and I'm sitting down. Like, I've seen the fucking moon. Right. I'm facing the other way. Now I have to wrench my back around and then turn around in my seat to look at the moon. Yeah. It's not on fire.
No.
It's not purple.
Right. Unless it's on fire.
It's the fucking moon.
Yeah. Right.
And I have to be courteous to her and go, okay, honey, and like do a whole corkscrew stretch just so that she feels good that I looked at the pretty moon.
Yeah, look at the moon.
Look at the butterfly over there. I don't need to turn around and get up and stand up because there's a butterfly. I've got too much other stuff. I have a life. How old do you think is old enough to show your kids Fight Club?
I mean, I literally just talked to Jacob about this yesterday. I'm like, I can't believe you haven't seen Fight Club. Yeah. I would say 14.
I mean, I feel like it's
my 16-year-old nephew, I was like, all right, we're right to Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know,
it's an important movie.
Be a fucking cunt anymore.
Yeah. I remember when it came out thinking like, this is something that everybody.
It's still to this day, is one of the most like layered movies, especially about masculinity.
Yeah.
Like there's so many like levels to it, and it says so many things like all at once. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. Oh man, and you know, it's that's what's so funny about it is that, you know, now the kind of people that we were talking about earlier, the 2014ers.
Yeah.
There's always those kind of like think pieces where it's like, looking back, was Fight Club, you know, not really a good thing because of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Because dumb guys saw Fight Club and were like, that's
go
cool.
punch
I'm going
each
to
other
start
in
a
the
Fight
face."
Club because
Yeah.
Tyler Durden's cool.
Yeah.
And they completely missed the entire point of the movie.
Yeah.
And those are probably the guys that those girls wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
Well, and it
So-
became a
And
they
bad
didn't get to
template.
fuck them.
Yeah, those guys pissed them off, you know, like because they were just dumbasses who just
Right.
like, you know.
Or they fucked him once and then
yeah,
bailed.
yeah. So
It had a bad effect on movies in the future after that, like Pulp Fiction, where every other movie was like, "This is how you make
Yeah,
it
that's
look
also
cool
that-
with
that
the washed
too,
out
like, yeah,
colors."
although it's funny, me and Wyatt were watching it, and about halfway through the movie, he goes, "This reminds me of The Dark Knight," because the Joker is very much like an anarchist type of Tyler
Yeah.
Durden character, and just the way it was shot, and the cities, you know,
Yeah,
setting and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff. He was like, my nephew's actually really good at like picking up things in movies because when he was, I showed him of The Shining when he was like 10, and I was like, oh, this is
that's a
probably
move.
too early.
That's a move, yeah.
But even as we were watching The Shining, he was like noticing like the camera angles and stuff, and like the cinematography, because it's freaking Kubrick, so it's
Yeah.
some of
It's
the
all
most
of that
amazing,
shit.
you know.
Yeah,
And he was like picking up on. He's like,
Yeah.
this movie looks different than movies because he's like 11 or whatever. He's like the way like the
Makes me feel
camera.
funny
and
in
I was
my
like,
pants.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then I forgot about the lady in the bathtub, and
You're gonna learn today, boy.
about the time she kissed Jack Nicholson, he was like, "Can I sleep in your bed with you tonight?" And I was like, "No, you're 11. You're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, you little faggot.
You're too old."
Get out of here.
Yeah.
a baby.
We're in a pizza restaurant when Jacob was like 6, and he's like, "When I grow up, I'm gonna make movies." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what kind of movies are you gonna make?" He's like, "I'm gonna make movies about scary things. The first movie I'm gonna make is gonna be called Nightmare on the Shining of the 13th."
Try not to be scared.
And I was like, "Do you know what The Shining is?" And he's like, "Yes, it's a scary movie." I'm like, "Watch this trailer." And I
Yeah.
like pulled up the trailer, and like within like 10 seconds, he was bawling his eyes
Yeah.
out. I was like, "I can't. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it. I'll never make that movie." I'm like, "Yeah, you will, you little bitch." So even to this day, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, do you want to watch The Shining this year?" He's like, "No." I'm like,
So he thinks The Shining is scary.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's got that young like
Yeah.
it's like
that-
that impression of it or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this kid will get like
imprinted on him. Yeah.
Yeah, this kid will get like repeatedly punched in the face and have his nose broken. But
Yeah.
like he won't like watch The Shining.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that getting your nose broken is way more scary
Yeah.
than watching a movie, right? You little
Yeah.
pussy.
See, my wife got traumatized by seeing stuff too early, and I got traumatized by not being allowed to see anything ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the balance is between like when a kid should see something fucked up. I guess once you're old enough to know that movies are fake.
I don't know. I think about this sometimes. I'm like, man, I see so much violent shit in movies and TV, and it can't be good for you.
No.
Like even if you know that it's fake, like it can't. It has to like
I
play
mean,
with your mental
but,
state.
But the earlier version of that is seeing that in real life because someone else's village attacked your village and you watch your
Yeah.
mother's stomach be sliced open with her all her guts
Yeah, it
out
happens.
and your
It
father
happens in the real world.
spraying blood out of his neck.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I would rather see RoboCop at 7
Yeah, your life
than
is
see
charmed.
that at 7.
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Well, Donnie, I'll agree with you there. It's hard for me to say that the alternative is worse.
Yeah. But at the same time, RoboCop and Predator, those did something to me
Yeah.
on a level of like gore and blood and body horror.
Yeah.
You know, like him scraping the skulls, like the Predator with all the skulls of all the guys that you watch get killed.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. You know, and then of course RoboCop with Murphy like having like his hand blown off and then shot all up and then.
So now you can only jack off to period porn.
Yes.
You know, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
No,
I
these
can
sex-
only-
sex
I need a lot
trafficked
of-
girls
I
in
can
a shipping
only-
container.
I can only-
They look afraid.
I can
I have
only
a-
come when they look afraid and they're bleeding.
I have a discharge fetish.
I have a
This would be a Slovak.
You know what? I
voice.
like how you said that. I'll be right back. I'm going up to your office.
Discharge my service unit. What's your favorite Fight Club quote that you use the most?
I don't know. I don't know if I know. Like, I mean, I saw that movie a long time ago. I haven't watched it since. So I don't
Every
know.
time my wife complains about not feeling well, I tell her only even the Mona Lisa's falling apart
Yeah, even the Mona
Yeah,
Lisa's
that's
falling
a-
apart.
okay,
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
because it's a compliment sandwich.
yeah. I like to use a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
But there's so many things like
Whenever I have a weird feeling, like when I was talking about that jerking off thing with Jesus, I was like, I am Jack's complete existential Jewish
Yeah.
masturbation guilt nightmare.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you ask me to tell you right now, like, the whole progression of the Fight Club movie, I don't know if I could do it. I could tell you about certain scenes,
Yeah.
like the scene in the office where
I
he's
haven't
all
been fucked like that since grade school. So
yeah.
but like,
No, I could probably do it. It starts with him with the gun in his mouth, and
Yeah.
Tyler Durden's got the gun in his mouth, and then he's like this is it, and then he gives the overview of like the bombs and the whole situation about.
I
what
feel
he
like it's
did.
an important movie
Yeah.
for
And
young
then,
men to see.
And then he goes, wait,
At some age.
he goes, wait, let me start at the beginning. And then
Yeah.
there's Bob, and it shows him up against his tits. Bob had bitch tits.
Yeah.
And then he goes, no, wait, let me go even earlier. And then it goes, for 6 months I couldn't sleep, and it's the doctor telling him I'm not going to give you anything,
Then it's
and
the
then
IKEA
everything's a cut,
ads.
yeah, and then him walking through the IKEA ad and just sets the stage of his life or whatever.
yeah.
And then he says he's a claims adjuster.
Yeah, and then it goes back
yeah,
through all.
yeah,
It shows
yes,
his life and his
yes.
boss and all that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna have to watch this with the boy this
Yeah.
weekend. I need to.
Yeah,
I
and
need to
then
watch
and then the
this.
doctor tells him to go to the. His doctor tells him to go to the. If he's like, you want to see real problems, go see the people in one of the self-help. So then he starts going to the self-help
That's right.
groups.
That's right.
And then
Yes.
Marla Singer shows up, and Marla Singer is what triggers the entire thing because it's about man, a man and what you want in life and women and the path that the path that you're supposed to take is at that point you're supposed to have sex and have kids and be human animals or whatever. But he's so resistant to it, and he's so like stuck in his kind of fake masculinity that he fucking hates her whenever he should be sexually attracted to her, right? You know, it's like he turned that sexual energy into a negative like outpouring of emotion, and that's whenever he meets Tyler Durden on the plane, and then everything's pretty linear from there, like, you know. But it cuts up a little bit, so it's hard to like think about like how
the
it
kind of order.
Yeah, because I think at that point, from the time he meets Tyler Durden, it doesn't do any like back and forth. It from the time he meets Tyler Durden, it's all the way up until he's got the gun in his mouth, and that's the end of the movie. Right. And I'm actually about to order a Van Gogh style painting of the end of the movie, of them holding hands with the.
Oh yeah, you have the comic book too.
With the things, with the buildings exploding in front of him.
So he has the sequel comic book.
I mean, it's just I guess like thinking about other movies and actors or whatever. It's like it's kind of like the same thing with like American History X, right? Like if you ask me, like again, I could tell you scenes. Obviously, the curb scene is like super crazy or whatever. The prison scene,
awesome.
But like, it's
super crazy. I mean, awesome.
Speaking of only being able to get hard to certain things,
But
like I couldn't tell you the progression of the movie. I couldn't tell you how it's. I mean, I maybe actually could tell you how it starts. But
it jumped. Oh, the progression of that movie, that one jumps around a lot because it's what's his name? Freaking Edward Furlong, having school and writing about what happened, about seeing his brother and how he became a Nazi, and then how he killed the guy. But then as is flashing back to that, he comes back in because he gets out of jail. And then it starts cutting back to the flashbacks of him being in jail. So there's like a lot of different timelines that are
Fight Club
happening
is
at
one
the
of those
same.
where we should have a god awful watch along, but we probably would end up just watching the movie and not talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my wife has been improving, and so my life has been improving. She's been becoming better. She gets up in the morning now and stuff.
Oh wow.
And she's been a lot more appreciative recently. She says thanks, and she's acknowledges my efforts.
Yeah.
So now my new favorite thing to do, whenever she says thank you, I go, I wish I had a husband. It seems like it's really nice to have a husband.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of jealous of you. I want a man to take care of me and pay for all my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fulfill all my needs.
Yeah.
It seems like a sweet deal.
Seems like a really good deal. Yeah. Yeah. I
wish I had a nice husband like you.
Man. with Kristen being sick, she's had strep. Donnie, I don't think I told you this, but she's had strep since like last week.
Yeah.
So I left to go to Boston last week, and like halfway through the trip, she calls me. She's like, "I have strep. I went to the doctor today." By the way, for her to go to the doctor means that something's really wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like she doesn't just go to the doctor ever.
This is my favorite comedian story is when wives call you right when you're about to go on stage and they're like, the dog threw up. And you're like, I'm really trying to get into like about to perform.
Headspace, yeah.
You're out there trying to make money for the family and run the company.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have a sore throat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want me to do with that right now?
Yeah.
And did you even ask what I'm doing right now? Or how much money I'm making for your... Go buy some halls.
She doesn't
There's
give
money.
a shit about that. Dude. So she... I know that we've talked about it. She does a fucking shitload of work. It's mostly stuff she cares about. That's fine. Like, I'm glad she keeps busy. Like, the house looks great. The yard's in great shape.
Women have it really hard. I watched an X-ray video of a baby jumping on a woman's bladder. Like, there's better video of that than there's ever been.
Yeah.
I would shit my pants.
Oh, yeah.
If a little human was inside of me just stomping on all my guts.
Right.
It looks like a fucking nightmare.
But that also
that doesn't mean you get to retire as the tiredest person on earth for the rest of your life.
I agree with you.
After you had a baby. There should be a refractory period.
I'm with you.
You lose your baby weight, you lose also the PTSD of having done your biological imperative that every other animal on earth does.
Yeah.
To have another thing.
That's it. Yep. Yeah.
And they want this holy Mother Earth Gaia honor for doing what God... the patriarchy is God's fault. He did it.
Yeah. Well, also...
They can't be mad at us. We didn't make them do that.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that you have babies and you're better than me because of it.
Well, it's also,
I want to have character.
It's also,
suffering builds character, and I don't get to have it.
It's also fine to, like, honor that in an appropriate way for the rest of our lives. It's fine. Like, I get it. You did that. It was hard. That's that.
We all know. We're all aware. We can't be any more aware.
Right, exactly.
Than we are.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Of the suffering of women.
Yeah.
It's just so Jewish.
I don't remember what my point was, but there was a point somewhere buried in here. But it doesn't matter.
Sorry, I went on a rant.
It's okay.
I got a lot of rants today.
It's all right.
I'm kind of ranty.
She was sick. I came home.
Yeah.
Her being sick is still going on. I'm just really, really fucking glad I didn't get it. I'm glad, like, as much as I didn't want to go to Boston and hang out with the whole company and stuff, I did it, and I got drunk a couple of times, and that was great.
And didn't you say you did?
And you made a lot of money.
Didn't you say something like you
for
did,
your
like,
family.
like Chinese eyes or something to your employees or something?
I did a bunch of, like, really dumb shit. I said things. I told them I didn't think bi people were real.
Yeah, right.
I said that
you told them that you know the truth that bi people aren't real.
I told them I know the truth. Bi people aren't real. I told
no.
them my feelings on guns. That probably was a mistake too. I probably shouldn't have done that.
This is like just drunken partying.
Yeah. No. This isn't like, listen, folks. We're
This
here to
is-
talk about business.
All hands. Bi
This is a
aren't
meeting.
real.
Yeah, no. This is like all of us sitting around the
In
bar.
this company, we believe.
Getting trashed and like me wrestling with one of my one of the employees. Like,
Yeah.
it was being ridiculous.
Chris called a all hands meeting, and he made them. What did he do in succession? He like made him get on the floor for like hot dogs or something.
Bore on the floor. Bore on the floor.
Bore on the floor.
Bore on the floor. Yeah. No. It was all like under the whole thing. Oh, this was one of my favorite things. So we decided, the founders decided that we were gonna go. Okay, so one of the founders decided that the whole company was gonna go to this place and package meals. It's this like community outreach thing where we were going to go package meals for people with chronic illnesses who are also experiencing homelessness. So it's people with HIV and cancer who are also experiencing homelessness. So we're going to go to a place, all 20 of us,
Did you touch them?
and package up food in, and it's a very like professional thing. It's not like we're going throwing some fucking Cheez-Its in a thing. It's like a highly sterile environment. If like you touch the gluten-free stuff, you can't touch the.
So you're
For the amount of money you spent on packaged food, you could have solved homelessness.
Yeah.
So you're being like little California pussies about feeding the homeless. This is only going to be gluten free and gourmet, and we are not going to mix the wheat and the
psilocybin in it so they can microdose.
The night before, we're all getting drunk at the bar, and I was like, "Look, we're going to community servings tomorrow. All right, I'm looking forward to it
Because I helped the faggots, I get to say faggot.
But
now.
if I have to see anyone with HIV or cancer, I'm fucking out of there." And oh man, some people like everybody laughed, but then there was like these like moments later, like the next day, where they were like, "So were you happy that you didn't have to see anyone less privileged?" I was like, "God damn it." Can we not make jokes?
Yeah.
When we're all trashed
that was
at
the
the
bad.
bar?
That was the bad man. Don't talk about the bad.
Don't
man.
talk about the bad
The
man.
bad man said some bad things.
Bad man say bad things.
He's gone now. The
Okay.
bad man's gone now.
Yeah.
Relax about what he did. Look, if you want to see your next paycheck,
That's right.
tell me that you forgot all of that.
Jumping to your death.
I never got a text from Mike to go ride mountain bikes.
Oh, he went to see Sam Talent at
good for him.
Cumberland Wrestling Festival or whatever the hell.
The Cumberland Wrestling
Fair,
Festival?
the quilt party, quilting party, Cumberland Quilting Party.
That sounds fucking gay.
No, it was some wrestling thing that Sam Talent was at. So you know how they say like historically they say what all the native words mean, like they're like Manhattan means land of great corn when they show you all the Indian places.
Yeah.
I think they're lying. I think Manhattan means please stop stealing my island. Appomattox is native for you stole my kid, give me my kid back, please. Powhatan is native for why is my wife dead now?
How did you say that one more time on that word?
Powhatan.
Powhatan.
The Powhatan people.
This is a very confusing pronunciation of this word. Oh man.
Illinois means you got any firewall?
Milwaukee.
You guys, I have to go home soon.
Yeah, we're coming up on on
3 hours.
3 to 3 hours on a stream. That sounds good to me.
I think
3 hours of stuff.
I actually have to go to work tomorrow, which means I have to be up at 6:15 tomorrow morning. So
we're about to get into some really fucked up AI stuff. We might want to save it for the next one.
Yeah,
you know that I've at work I've coined AI just meaning an Indian. So whenever we talk about like AI is doing it, it's just an Indian.
Yeah.
That's all
good.
AI really
Yeah.
is. It's just an Indian. So everyone's really worked up about this shit, but just know.
It's a Puerto Rican person yelling only once instead of 3 times.
I'm in the AI business, so I know about it being an Indian.
Oh yeah, baby. we need to
Please,
see
can
the
I
new
touch
version of
pussy?
that Facebook post where it was like a Renaissance art and it was Indian guys like I kiss your breast, ooh, and they putting their phone numbers and stuff on a painting, on a picture of a painting like it's a girl. But now, oh man, I need to see the ones that are tricked by AI. Oh yes, baby, baby Gerald, Yeah, Romeo posters or whatever, Romeo dialers or what they're called, where the Indian guys just call random numbers and try and talk to a girl. They're
Please,
like,
can I touch?
oh, please, can I touch your pussy, please?